Well, we meet again, ladies and gentlemen. Test. Is this thing on, y'all? Is this thing on? Can you all see me? Most importantly, and I cannot stress this point enough, can you all hear me? What's going on, people? What's happening? Shout out to the chat. What's up, y'all? Let me just go ahead and pop this bad boy out. Drag this guy over to the side right here. There we go. All right. I'm seeing a lot of the homies. Damn, y'all be showing up early for these things. You love to see it. So, of course, we start out as we always do with some shout-outs. So, shout out to Cold, the very first commenter of the night, 107 minutes. That's how long this man has kept that browser tab open. I appreciate it, man. That is what's up. And then we got the homie Flame in the chat. Oh, Flame, you about to get 2 shout-outs tonight, my friend. We got Ghost Fixter. What's going on, bro? We got Harrison Hinchion, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Like I said, you guys, if I mispronounce any of y'all's usernames, feel free to type them down below in the comment section as you should pronounce them so I can know for future references. But what's going on, Harrison H? We got Naruto OST. Need that Doki Doki stream. I know, man. The world needs another Doki Doki stream. I'm telling you. All right, who else we got in here? We got Oblivion81. Nice. Was hoping for a stream today. You know what the crazy thing is? And this is not to poke fun at your comment, Oblivion, but Ask Neo has been consistently a Saturday show for the past couple of months now, and it's so crazy whenever I get people coming in the comments section and they're just like, damn, I didn't know what you were streaming today. And I'm like, but you were in all the other streams every single Saturday for the past 6 months. It's just funny, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, we do have an update on the Ask Neo scheduling. We'll touch more on that later. We got the homie Aaron Stallings. What's good, bro? What's up? Ooh, we got my homie Rhino, aka Angel, aka the Kingpin of New York. What's going on, bro? Shopping at Best Buy, but tuning in. My guy has made so many appearances this month. It's become part of my lineup. Yo, that's what it's all about, man. You know, I'm trying to get more consistent with the content creation game, aiming for like 2 videos a week, 1 stream a week. I feel like that's a pretty good mix of things. Let's see who else we got. We got Clifford, my guy Clifford. Where's my boy Neo? Shout out to the homie Clifford, the best bartender in all of New Mexico. That's my guy right there. We go way back. We got PierretheGamer. Ayo, A to the yo, Pierre. Good to see you. We got Rescue Squad checking in. We got Artsy Avanti, Lucky Diamond. What's good, my guy? And then we got Atlanta. Hello. He's just like hello. Hello to you too, Atlanta. How you doing, bro? I love how, like, there's just certain people here I refer to them as the state. Like, this man's name is Matthew, but his name is Atlanta, because that was how I got to know him with his old, no, I think it's still your gamer tag right now, bro. But yeah, I just been calling this man Atlanta. He's straight up go be Atlanta till the day he dies for me. And we got Zap Black 1212. 12, nigga, 12. Shout out if y'all know where that's coming from. We got Nathan Rita in the chat. We got Mace Windu. Yes. I'm surprised you survived, Mace. What's going on, bro? Holy shit, that's crazy. Ooh, and then we got the homie MX Woods to the 3rd power with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. Always love a good Saturday night stream. Also, would love to hear some Black Friday / Cyber Monday deals you recommend. Keep up the good work, bro. Oh, I appreciate that, MX Woods. And yeah, so for those who are unaware, we are, I don't even want to say we're closing in on Black Friday because the sales have already started. I think Best Buy has been running their Black Friday deal since the beginning of the month, and Xbox just put up their Black Friday sale. I believe PlayStation did the same thing as well. To be honest, y'all, I haven't been looking too much at all the Black Friday deals because, man, it's just the temptation is just right there, man. And I've already spent way too much money this year on gear. So the last thing I really need is just to go and spend even more money. But I mean, I haven't done so much research on Black Friday this year. I mean, I did peruse through some of the deals they got going on. Best Buy, for all my movie lovers, for all the people out there who stand physical media, Best Buy is having a huge 4K blowout sale. So if you guys are like me, you have nice TVs, you have a good sound system, and you want to take full advantage of that, you gotta up your physical media game, man. And that's what I'm gonna do this year. So if anything, unless I see something else that really catches my eye, it's just gonna be straight 4K Blu-rays, man. I want to upgrade some of the things in my collection to 4K, specifically the Nolan movies, because I have Interstellar in 4K, I have Tenet in 4K, and now I just need to work my way backwards. I'm gonna go pick up Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. Rises, I'm kind of whatever on. I don't need to own that. But I definitely want to get Begins and The Dark Knight because I love those movies. And they're like, what, $10 on 4K? $10 for great Batman movies, man. You can't beat that. But did you guys see anything else on Black Friday that looks interesting? I mean, comment down below. If I see something I'm in the market for, I might check that out. But yeah, I appreciate the super chat, MX Woods. Thank you. Who else we got in the chat? We got DIMWITMONKEY. Oi, 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 oi. This man, you reverse that and you just do yo ho 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 ho, and you've got yourself Brooke. Which, shout out to One Piece, which we'll touch a little bit later. One Piece just hit an incredible milestone today. Who else that we got here? Damn, you guys are making it rain in the chat so early, like I'm $2 whore on Tuesdays. What is going on? All right, we got Trapped in My Psych. What's going on, Chris? We got Khalid Fathil. Yes, sir. What's good, bro? We got Delusions of Grandeur. I love that fucking name, bro. That's one of my favorite sayings right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you and your delusions of grandeur. It sounds so epic, man. I love it. We got Chris in the chat. My guy, Chris, checking in during work. Oh, and shout out to my homie, Chris C. You know, he's my homie. We've been friends for a long time. But my man's Chris just got himself an Xbox Series X, y'all. I believe this is your first Xbox, bro. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he got himself a Series X. And not only that, my man's got himself, wait for it, my man's Chris C got himself the Halo Infinite Special Edition Xbox Series X. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I'm fucking jealous. I'm fucking jealous looking at my Series X, and then I see this man's, and he took all the perfect photos. He's like, here's the box. Here's the inside of the box. Here's the console on its side. Here's everything. I was looking at that, and I'm like, I'm so happy for you, Chris. I'm so fucking happy for you, bro. But shout out to my homie, Chris. All right, so working our way down the list. Who else we got? We got POTC 3000. What's going on, sis? How you doing? We got Eric with the exclamation point. What's up? What's up? We got Daria Puello. We got Dark Star Angel. Who else we got in here? All right, we got Chris B. We got all the Chris's in the chat tonight. You fucking love to see it. Let's see. I'm just trying to do all the shout outs real quick before we get to the super chats and stuff. We got Grumble. What's going on? What's up? What's up? We got Video Game Lover. What's good, bro? We got Daniel Aguilar. We got NKDN, the homie. What's up, bro? What's up? What's up? Alrighty, so we are all caught up on the shout outs. So let me get to the super chats real quick. We got a $5 super chat coming in from PierretheGamer. Cowboy Bebop live action looking pretty spooky. Which company do you think should touch anime to do live action other than Netflix? Yeah, that's actually going to be a whole topic of this Ask Neo, Pierre. So I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about that a little bit later, but I appreciate the super chat, bro. Thank you. And we have 279 from Leon. Ever doing an appearance / panel at any conventions? You know, honestly, man, I've thought of doing that. You know, like I was thinking of getting together a bunch of people in the maybe YouTube anime community, maybe the gaming community, and hosting some type of a panel. It just all comes down to like what convention we would do it at. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to get something that's not too far out of the way for people to travel. I was thinking maybe doing something at PAX, right? I was thinking doing like PAX South, because PAX South was kind of like an undiscovered gem in the convention circuit, right? And I wanted to go to PAX South for the longest time, and you know, because there's a lot of content creators down in Texas, but unfortunately, PAX South, they just announced that they're going to be ceasing the convention, which sucks, man, because you know I like going to the Comic-Cons, I like going to the E3s, but man, when you go to those events, it's just, bro, it is crowded beyond belief. Like you spend more time walking around looking at stuff than you actually do getting hands-on preview coverage. Whereas if you go to PAX, you have a lot of more opportunities for hands-on coverage for indie games, AAA games. Just in general, there's always so much more fun stuff to do at the smaller conventions. But maybe if you guys would be down, like I was thinking maybe 2022, 2023, I might see if I can talk to some convention heads about hosting a panel of sorts, whatever topic you guys would want, and then we'd go ahead and do that. But yeah, that's definitely long-term future stuff, but I appreciate you suggesting that, Leon. Thank you. And then we have Flame, who's been officially a member of the Phantom Weirdos for 4 months. Hello, hope you're well, Neo. Hypothetical, you had to choose to watch High Guardian Spice or Netflix's Cowboy Bebop. Which one will you go for? Do I have access to alcohol? Do I have access to things that are not particularly Christian? Do I have access to those things, Flame? Oh, golly. If I'm being honest, man, I'll take that Netflix Cowboy Bebop. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. We'll touch more on that later. And appreciate you being subscribed for 4 months. And then we have Blue Senshi 19 with the $10 super chat. What's up, Neo? How are you? After a long wait, I finally received my PC and now a Game Pass member. Currently replaying Red Dead Redemption 2 and tried Halo for the first time. Haven't turned on my PS5 since Wednesday. Well, congratulations to you, Blue Senshi. Like we talked about in the last stream, I know this was a huge ordeal for you to get the PC. I mean, shout out to anybody in this pandemic who's getting their hands on like graphics cards or new consoles, because that shit is damn near impossible. So I'm happy you got that shit, bro. There's going to be a ton of stuff to play on there. Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the best games to buy on PC because you can actually play it at 60 frames per second. Hopefully one day console owners will get the opportunity. But yeah, man, have fun, enjoy yourself, try out different genres, try out indie games, try out some old games with better graphical settings. You're going to love this shit. And I want to give a huge shout out to my homie Clifford Pena coming in, or I'm sorry, Pena? Because, you know, there's going to be some people saying it's pronounced Pena, bro. Shout out to my boy Cliffy P, because that's his name. He just subscribed to the Phantom Weirdos tier. Thank you so much for the support. And he also donated a $20 super chat. Cheers, bud. Thank you so much, Cliff. I really appreciate that, brother. And if anyone is in New Mexico, Santa Fe, hit up this man, Cliff. Hit this man up. He is one of the best bartenders around. He will get you acclimated and just tell him that Neo sent you, because my man knows how to do some things with some liquor, man. Alrighty, but all right, now that we've got all that stuff out of the way, welcome everybody to another fantastic and fabulous episode of Ask Neo. If y'all are tuning in for the very first time, comment down below. Welcome to the stream. Ask Neo is my weekly Q&A series where you guys ask questions and I answer them to the best of my ability. We kind of had a little bit of a, not a late start to this stream, but you guys made it rain in the club with all the super chats and the shout outs and all that. So I want to say thank you guys so much for that. I don't really have anything else to pimp out other than 2 things. So number 1, if you guys haven't checked out my recent uploads, I did 2 videos this week. The first video was just a recap of the Xbox 20th anniversary, in addition to portions of an interview that Phil Spencer did. Definitely check that out. I really had a lot of fun making that one. And the second video I made was a reaction to the recent Spider-Man Far From Home. I hate the titles of these movies. What happened to just being like Spider-Man 1, 2, 3? Like, I made a reaction to the recent Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. I assume this is going to be the final trailer we get. Who knows? We might get another one. But I uploaded that earlier on in the week. And the last thing I want to do is point y'all's attention to the video description, because there are a couple of links of interest. So down below in the video description, you will find my social media outlets from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, PayPal, in addition to the Patreon community, which I'm actually getting more in touch with the people on there. We're going to start doing a lot of fun stuff via the Patreon. So if you guys do want to subscribe, it's going to be down below there. And I want to give a big shout out to all of this month's patrons and YouTube members, you know, who help keep the floodlights on and all that stuff. So let me go ahead and pull this list up right here. So I want to shout out Santos Jimenez, Alex Moretti, Darius Chappelle, my boy Gaius. We got Jhoel Delcarmen, Zack Rodriguez, GC Plugs, Daniel Pack, Marcus Doyle Terrell, Hustle and Motivate, PierretheGamer, Fostings1, Colin, my boy, DIMWITMONKEY, Don Otaku, and Flame. So thank you guys so much, everyone, for joining. And of course, I have to add Cliffy P to that list as well. So let me just go ahead and add that right now. Thank you guys so much for all of the support and everyone who's been tuning in to all of these Ask Neos. Like I said, it's one of the great highlights of my week that I get to hang out with you guys. So there's a lot. Oh, shout out to the homie Asbel and Corey Gryffindor, and Snorlax is in, and Sean is in, and Soapbox is in. Yo, everyone is in the chat tonight. Shout out to y'all. Shout out. Okay, I've been talking for almost, we're almost like half an hour. I gotta pace myself, y'all. Gotta pace myself. And then we got Maddie in the chat. Oh my god, we've got the whole fucking squad tonight. We've got the whole squad tonight. Oh, Jesus Christ. This people think this YouTube shit is fucking easy, but when you talking constantly and you a hype beast, oh man, it's fun. It's fun, but it is time for us to lock in. We have a couple of topics to discuss for tonight. But before that, we got two quick super chats. $2 from Flame. Sober and no phone breaks for my hypothetical question, Neo. Sober. No phone breaks. Ugh. Give me that Netflix Cowboy Bebop. Because at least there's a corgi in that. And I love corgis. So yeah, give me that. It's gonna be a long 10 hours. And then $2.79 from the homie Leon. My mom said hi and said don't swear. Okay, Mama Mikas, I'm gonna try my best to keep it down to a PG rating for this Christian YouTube channel. I'm gonna try my best. No promises though, no promises. But yeah, you guys, what do you guys want to discuss for the very first topic? I know Halo Infinite is on the list. Cowboy Bebop, Netflix show. What else happened this week? There was the Activision Blizzard controversy. Well, the ongoing controversy. Battlefield 2042. What do you guys want to discuss? Type it down below. Whichever's got the most comments, we'll go ahead and we'll talk about that. But in the meantime, I want to give a shout out to everyone else who's been joining in between. We got Jay Peart in the chat. We got Christopher B in the chat. Who else we got in here? Liquid Swords. Shout out to y'all. Make a poll instead. Yeah, that actually is a good idea. That actually is a good idea. You see, this is sometimes, Flame, the best way I could describe Flame is that he's kind of like, Flame is kind of like a broken clock where he's wrong a lot of the times, especially when it comes to his taste in JRPGs. But every now and then it's like, he makes a good point. It's like the worst person makes a good point, and now you're just questioning, should I retweet this? I don't know. But yeah, so first topic for tonight, I'll leave that poll up for like 5 minutes, and then we'll go ahead. Actually, you know what? Whatever gets the first amount of votes, we'll go for that for the first topic, second, third, things like that. Topic lists. All right, so let me go ahead. So topic list. So the first one is going to be Netflix Cowboy Bebop. How's the music sound, guys? Everything sound good? Second will be Halo Infinite multiplayer. Third one, what else? YouTube dislike. Yeah, that's a good topic. YouTube dislike. Where did I even type that? What? YouTube dislike bar. Sounds a little faint. Oh, okay. I just wanted to be like a nice little accent, All right. Battlefield 2042. All right, so I'll add that to the list. Because some of these we can get through really quickly, and then others obviously will have more time. So these will be the 4 topics we have for tonight. And then, like I said, we'll discuss other things as well. But I know these are, for some people, these are like big topics they want to discuss. So I'll just put that right there. That'll be the poll. So you guys, if you're watching on mobile, or if you're like listening to this in another browser, I just put up the poll so you guys can go ahead and check those out and vote. And then I'd say I'll go until 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is in 9 minutes. Well, 8 minutes now. We'll go ahead and we'll start the first topic list and work our way down. But in the meantime, how has everybody's week been? What have you guys been up to? What have y'all been playing? What have y'all been reading? What have y'all been watching? Well, how's it been, y'all? This week for me, honestly, has been very productive. Like, I started out the week uploading 2 videos, which, to me, if I start out the week and I've already got some content in the bank, I'm like, yes, I'm doing something right. And then from there, kind of got a little itty bitty busy out here in the real. Just a whole bunch of other stuff that's been happening. My work schedule, unfortunately, is going to change for the foreseeable future. So it looks like for the time being, Ask Neos will no longer be held on Saturday evenings, which kind of sucks, I know, because we had a whole routine and rhythm going. So it'll most likely go back to weeknights like it was during the majority of the, like, you know, when COVID first shut down, we were always doing Ask Neos every Monday night. But now, since my schedule changed, I'm going to be working weekend nights, which I don't mind. You know, it's pretty chill at the job I work. But I do have to let you guys know because we've had this whole thing going on. So I'll have a definitive answer for you guys by next week's special because I get my schedule starting Monday. So by Monday morning, I'll know exactly like what my schedule is going to be like going forward. And then we'll set an exact date of when we can do Ask Neos, whether it's like a Monday evening or whether it's Wednesday. We'll figure that out. But other than that, I mean, there isn't really been too many crazy things happening in my life. Like, I have a lot of ideas and stuff that I'm brainstorming for the future. I do have another video in the works right now, like the preliminary stages. And I'm just going to let you guys know this because we're streaming. But I'm going to be making like an anniversary retrospective look back video on the Xbox 360. Because believe it or not, Xbox has turned 20 years old this year. But the Xbox 360 in particular has also turned 16 years old. So I'm just like, holy fuck, man, that's absolutely insane. So I thought because I didn't get into Xbox until the 360. I mean, I had an OG Xbox, but to be honest, the only game I played on it was KOTOR and KOTOR 2. So I don't really count that as like an OG Xbox experience. Whereas everyone was like, yeah, I'm playing like Halo 1 and Halo 2 and all these other games. Like I literally had that Xbox console for KOTOR. But yeah, I wanted to do one on the 360 because that was the Xbox 360 was the first time I ever hooked up a game console and I was like, whoa, you can do this? Like just the access of being able to play online with people, and it was so seamless. Like that I don't know if that's like a Fallout 3 vault moment where you go into, for those who don't know, who've never played Fallout 3, when you play Fallout 3, it kind of starts you off in this environment that's not the most compelling environment to start an open world video game in. And then some things happen, and then you finally get to see the wasteland, the open world, and you're just like, whoa, I can explore all this. That was kind of like me with the 360. I bought the 360 specifically to play Naruto Rise of a Ninja. Yeah, I was that person. I was a whole weeb, and I was like, I want to play the Naruto games that are exclusive to Xbox. And then I was like, oh my god, there's all these other games. Oh my god, what Call of Duty and Left 4 Dead, and what is going on here, man? So yeah, I wanted to do a whole video just talking about my time with the 360, a lot of the highs, a lot of the lows, similar to what I did for the Xbox Series X and the PS5, like the 1 year retrospective, except now that we can look back on the 360 from its inception to its finale and just grade it if it was like a really good console. This man says, so you're old. Clifford, we getting up there, bro. We getting up there, man. Take it easy, Lucky Diamond. Have a good one, bro. I got the 360 for Sonic 06. Yeah, you know what the thing is? A lot of people got the Xbox 360 just because the PS3, it didn't have shit for the first 3 years, man. I mean, it has some good games, but some good games don't really justify a $600 price tag. So I was team 360 all the way until they came out with that slim PS3. And then I was like, oh, let me swap hats. I'm a Sony fanboy now. That's how we did it, man. Oh, we got some super chats coming in right quick. All right. So shout out to the homie Leon Mikas for another 279 Canadian super chat. Thank you, bro. Last question. Do an NGS holiday special stream. What would an NGS holiday special be like? I don't know. I feel like it would just be us talking, maybe, I don't know, drinking eggnog, taking shots. I feel like that's what we do on the holidays, right? And we have a $10 super chat coming in from the homie Mexican Zoidberg, my man. I just finished Yakuza 7, and I'm a pretty stoic guy, but that ending was the first time I had to seriously hold back tears. Never in my 24 years of living did I think that would happen. Oh, man, and dude, I would love to talk to you about this. Well, you know, we can probably just talk about this shit in the DMs, Mexican Zoidberg. But yo, for those who have not played Yakuza 7, or those who have played Yakuza 7, that ending, in my honest opinion, is one of the best endings I've ever seen for a Japanese RPG. It was heart-wrenching, it was soul-sucking, And at the same time, it was beautiful and happy. And it got you excited to play Yakuza 8 whenever the hell that game comes out. Dude, Yakuza Like a Dragon is one of my all-time favorite RPGs. Not just Yakuza games, not just games that came out this past generation. I'm talking all time. Yakuza Like a Dragon, it checked so many boxes for me. As a person who loves turn-based RPGs, it gave us turn-based combat, but it added in some twists, right? It brought back some older mechanics from old school JRPG games, but it modernized them. And at the same time, it was still a Yakuza game. It still had the style, it still had the flair, the wacky antics, the story. I mean, yeah, it does have a lot of cutscenes, 20 hours of cutscenes, but the story was phenomenal. The new cast of characters, so strong. Yakuza Like a Dragon is a goddamn masterpiece, bro. I loved that game. And I'm so happy you enjoyed it, Mexican Zoidberg, because that ending fucking hits, man. You know what the crazy thing is? Ever since I watched Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Destin Daniel Cretton, who was the director of that movie, he's been on my mind as someone who could potentially do a Yakuza movie, right? Because if you look at Shang-Chi, of course it's got like the spectacle that you've come to expect with Marvel movies. It's got the jokes, it's got the humor, but the deep character rich writing and just the relationship between Shang-Chi, his sister, his father, just the family angle. Oh my God, I fucking loved Shang-Chi so much. And I'm thinking, this man is the man who should be working on the Avatar Last Airbender Netflix show. This is the man who should be working on the Ghost of Tsushima movie. This is the man who should be working on a Yakuza Like a Dragon movie. It was like, dude, what he was able to pull off. Oh my God. Oh God, so good. All right, so we got 1 minute left for the poll. In the meantime, I'll just answer this super pack. That's what I'm gonna call it whenever he super chats. I'm gonna answer a super pack from my friend Daniel Pack, $9.99. Thank you so much, bro. Sup, Neo? Just started my new job a few weeks ago, and it's everything I could have asked for. Literally my dream job. I feel like everything's been going perfectly lately in my life. God's doing God's work, bro. That is awesome, dude. So congratulations on that new job, my friend. I remember the last one you was at, like through all those streams, you were like, should I take this overtime? It's kind of bullshit, blah, blah, blah. But you know what, man? You persevered and somebody saw the greatness within Daniel Pack. Because like I said, Daniel Pack is a penguin who waddles different waddles. Like, because penguins don't wear hats. But this man, Daniel Pack, right? First off, him and Mexican Zoidberg are the armed enforcers of the chat. So if anyone ever shows up at your door at 2 a.m. in the morning because you didn't hit a like button on a stream, it's probably going to be one of those two, leaning more towards Daniel Pack. Because like Mexican Zoidberg is more of a diplomatic kind of guy, whereas Daniel Pack is just straight up like, yo, I want all the fucking smoke. Let's fucking go. But congratulations to you, my man. Seriously, I wish you all the best going forward with your new job. And in general, man, it's always a pleasure to be in your company. Neo is great. Oh, I appreciate that, Cliff. Thank you. Oh, man, and shout out to everybody in the chat tonight. If you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure you hit that like button. Helps out the channel tremendously. And, we were officially past 10 minutes, so we might as well just dive into the first topic for tonight, you guys. And like I said, some of these topics we're going to talk a little bit more about than others. Some of them literally can be done in 2 minutes. But let's dive into the first main topic of Ask Neo tonight. And we're going to be discussing the Halo Infinite multiplayer. Yes, I said the Halo Infinite multiplayer. Now, for those who are unaware, maybe you don't game on Xbox or PC. Xbox just kind of lit the world on fire earlier this week. For the 20th anniversary of the Xbox brand and Halo in general, they announced that the Halo Infinite multiplayer beta is going to be free for everybody. Now, I know what y'all are saying. It's just a beta. What are you talking about? They've always done betas, yada, yada, yada. But the difference about this beta is that this beta marks the start of the Halo Infinite multiplayer season. Everything that you do throughout the course of this multiplayer beta will transfer directly into your game when it launches on December 8th. So literally all the time that we're putting into this game right now, we can enjoy and reap the benefits when the game launches. So I got to give kudos to 343 for that. That is an incredible way to honor Halo's 20th anniversary. And like I said, the best part about this approach, and this echoes what I've been saying for like the past year and a half, and why Xbox's approach to this whole not being tied to one console, it's more of an ecosystem. Halo Infinite and Forza Horizon 5 have been charting left, right, and center. Now, obviously, Halo Infinite's a free-to-play game, so of course, yada, 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 but just look at the community engagement of people who are playing Halo. Some folks who are getting into it for the first time, a lot of OG veterans. Like, Halo is doing numbers, man. And Forza Horizon 5 just passed 10 million players, so congratulations to everyone at Playground. But I did have an opportunity to play a lot of the Halo Infinite multiplayer. I have not played it in a few days, though, because life has been really hectic out here. But I did get a chance to play it Tuesday and Wednesday, and I had a lot of good fun with this. Like, it's everything that you guys loved about the flight test, but more refined. So, like, all the feedback that we gave during that period, they've tweaked some things. And the game itself, at least from what I'm playing on the Xbox Series X, and the music has stopped. So let me go ahead and... Oh, no, we still got 6 minutes. I don't know why it just sounded so quiet. Probably switching tracks. But everything that, like, I enjoyed in the flight test, it's here in this version of the game. And it just runs like butter, man. I'm playing it on the Series X right now, and it's just so fucking beautiful, dude. Like, I really cannot wait for Halo to ditch the Xbox One versions of the game, because Halo Infinite, in my personal opinion, is a pretty good looking game. But if they can ditch those old consoles, and then the next generation of Xbox hardware, we can finally see what a Halo game looks like, bro, shit's gonna be absolutely insane. But I don't think this is premature for me to say that this is the best Halo multiplayer has ever fucking been. I'm sorry, Mama Mikas, I just had to throw an F-bomb in there. But this is the best Halo has ever played since the Bungie days. Now, granted, that's not saying much because of Halo 4, and Halo 5 was pretty competent for the most part, the multiplayer anyways. But one thing I love about Infinite is that it recaptures the fun of Halo. Just like that addictive quality that you got with Halo 3, and for me, Halo Reach was the game where I was just like, yo, this is fucking great. It's there on display in Halo Infinite. Now, throughout my time playing, I've enjoyed a lot of the stuff in the game, but there are a couple of things that I'm not necessarily feeling. First things first, the lack of game types for Halo is very disappointing, extremely disappointing, because one of the things about Halo is that it's a sandbox FPS game. You know, the best part about Halo is that, yes, you can do the modes that you like capture the flag, or, you know, like whatever you're into. But the best part about it is just the ability to play all these different modes, custom games, and all that stuff. Or if you just want to have a playlist that is specifically Slayer, you could do that. Halo Infinite right now, you don't have those options. And that's very disappointing for me, because, I mean, I like big team battle, I like some of the other things, but sometimes I just want to get in there and just play Slayer, and that's all I want. It's also missing a lot of classic modes from previous Halo games, which is very disappointing. So hopefully once we get closer to launch, they will address that. In addition to that, I'm not digging the progression system. Now, this one is kind of like a half and half thing, because 343 did come out and say that they're going to be modifying the progression based off community feedback, so that is something good. But right now, playing through Halo Infinite, I'm purely playing it for the fun factor and not really worrying about my stats. Like, you know, like, okay, this match I rank up and blah, 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 because, you know, they're going to be resetting the stats once the game, I believe once the game comes out, to tweak the progression system. I haven't read the full details of the article, but I know they're tweaking something, and that requires them resetting something. But overall, all things considered, man, it's very fun, man. I'm interested to see where this takes Halo into the future, because obviously they talked about Halo Infinite being a platform rather than a single game. So I wouldn't be surprised if, like, this Halo Infinite multiplayer remains the default de facto multiplayer for the next, I don't know, like 6+ years, and then they just keep refining it as time progresses. I think at some point they might have to leave the Xbox One consoles behind, similar to what they did with, you know, MMOs like Final Fantasy 14. I believe after Heavensward, they stopped supporting the PlayStation 3, or it might have been even before that. Somebody correct me in the comment section. But yeah, with Halo Infinite, it's just a lot of fucking fun, which is the important thing. That's what they needed to nail. And now it's all about listening to the community feedback, giving us better maps, adding in more custom game types, you know, the playlist features and all that stuff. And then I think Halo Infinite might be the best Halo game we've gotten since Halo 3, you know? And I don't think it's too premature to say that. It's just they're making all the right moves, if that makes sense. Whereas if they didn't say anything about addressing the progression feedback, I could see this game dying within the first couple of months. And I'm not even joking when I say that. Because for a lot of people, progression is a very big part of their multiplayer experience. And if you tie the progression to doing these arbitrary challenges, instead of it just being a default thing like, hey, you get kills, you get EXP, you complete the match, you get EXP, and then if you want to do these other things like get like a double grenade kill, that's the daily challenge or something, that's what you should do, rather than saying, okay, you have to do these challenges, because that's going to change how somebody plays the game. Inherently, that's what it's going to be. Like my boy Robbie Fox, I believe he played Halo Infinite's multiplayer for, I want to say it was like 10 hours or so, and he was only on like rank 2, like something crazy like that. But what did you guys think about the Halo Infinite multiplayer experience? I mean, I had a lot of fun with it. I can't wait to get the crew together. Well, you know what the thing is? Oh man, I actually do not have a crew to run Halo with. Holy fuck, bro! Because this is my first Halo game I'm actually playing online with people since Halo Reach. Because I played Halo 4, I did like 5 hours of the multiplayer, did the campaign, but that was it. But this is gonna be the first time I do that, so I gotta assemble a fucking squad, man. We're about to roll deep with this shit, bro. I can't wait. I can't wait, man. So yeah, make sure you guys comment down below what you guys thought of the Halo Infinite multiplayer. And now moving on to the second topic of tonight, and this one is going to be, oh golly, like we started the stream on such a good note, and then we had to go here. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to be talking about the Netflix Cowboy Bebop live-action anime series. For those wondering, I'm not going to get into spoilers. I'm not going to get into any spoilers that haven't been posted on official social media channels. So if like Netflix posted it, I feel it's fair game for the most part. But one of my biggest concerns with this series, I mean, outside of the fact that they're adapting one of my all-time favorite anime, one of my biggest concerns is a story like Cowboy Bebop is a lot deeper than a lot of people think. Some folks think it's going to be a very easy show to adapt because, you know, it's a sci-fi show. There's not too much crazy spectacle going on by comparison to something like a Star Wars. So yeah, Cowboy Bebop, it's like you just get these actors, play these characters, and whatever. But one of the best parts about the Cowboy Bebop anime was its writing and its characterization, because at the core of every story, that should be what you focus on the most. Characters, characterization, how they're written, and the thematic elements of the show. And that's what I love about Cowboy Bebop. Like every single time I go back and I rewatch that show, I find different aspects of these characters that I appreciate, especially the main guy, Spike. So when I heard Netflix was doing it a few years ago, I was like, I don't know how I feel, but I'm willing to give it a shot. We'll see. Maybe this could be the one. And then we didn't hear anything about it for a while. And then they started, like, some of the set photos got leaked and it was looking really spooky. Some of the costume designs seemed off. But, you know, I always thought that, hey, listen, it's set photos that somebody took. It's not official stuff. I'll just wait for the official stuff to come out. Official stuff comes out. It looks really spooky. Then they release this little, like, homage intro to the original anime's tank theme. And I was like, oh, no, this is not looking good, bro. But then they start dropping clips of the show. And mind you, they start dropping clips of this show literally like 2 weeks before it comes out. Like most shows, they have trailers come out a few months beforehand, 2 months beforehand, and there you go. But with this show, they were playing it so, like the cards were so close to their chest for good reason. The dialogue in this show is fucking atrocious. Fucking atrocious. And I don't exactly know what they were going for, but to me, from what I've seen with these clips, they're trying to make a bootleg version of Seinfeld, Edgar Wright work, and the MCU, and they're trying to like hodgepodge all that shit together and call that Cowboy Bebop. In what world is Cowboy Bebop even remotely similar to Seinfeld, Edgar Wright, and the MCU? Like that's literally what it is. Like a lot of the humor and the stuff that they're going for, it's diet MCU, man. And I'm like, this is not a jab at the MCU. That's what they do. But what I don't like is when people try to ape off of that shit instead of actually honoring and doing the job that they were supposed to do. Like, Cowboy Bebop should not be written like this, and they shouldn't be making bidet jokes. They shouldn't be making jokes about washing the crack in your ass. Like, that's not fucking Cowboy Bebop, man. And I knew this was gonna be a problem. I knew this was gonna be a fucking problem, and then the show drops. And then we start seeing everything about that. And it doesn't stop there, man. There's just so much wild shit going on with this show. Like, I implore y'all to go look up some of those clips. Some of them might be spoilers, so I don't necessarily want to mention them. Okay, fuck it, I'm gonna mention one of them. This is one clip, right? We got my man Mustafa, you know, Bushmaster, the Bushmaster. We got my man Mustafa posted up. He's talking to this older woman, just to paint the picture for y'all. Talking to this older white woman. And she's over here, like, casually flirting. And apparently the shtick was it was supposed to be funny. This was supposed to be a funny scene. But it came off as fucking awkward. Right? So she's over here saying stuff like, blah, 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 blah. She's, like, flirting with him. Mind you, she looks like she's 40 years older than him. I guess that was the joke. But she's talking stuff like, yada, da, 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 da. And he says, oh, you mean blackmail? That's what Mustafa, Jet Black, said. And she says, yes, of course. Because you are black. And you are a male. And if that was the worst of it, I'd be like, all right, that's terrible writing, but that's one thing. But then there's another scene. And she literally says in the most seductive voice possible, she's just like, I want this dark, creamy chocolate man. I'm like, this is not fucking Cowboy Bebop. In what world is this even remotely Cowboy Bebop? But yeah, that Netflix Cowboy Bebop show, I wanted to, I honest to God, I did want to watch the show to give it my full opinions. Me and my boy Ness Mudkip, we were going to watch all 10 episodes and we were going to give our objective review. But man, I can't even muster the courage to watch that shit for 10 hours. That's 10 hours of my life that I will never get back. And at that rate, it's like, I don't even think if someone paid me to watch it for 10 hours and review it, it'd have to be a good amount, man. Because that's 10 hours that I could be doing literally anything else, man. 10 hours playing Halo Infinite, 10 hours working on new content, 10 hours jacking off. Like, I could do literally anything than watch that Cowboy Bebop show. And it's just, oh, man. What a way to join the stream. Yeah, you joined the stream. We were talking about that god-awful Netflix show. Now, will it get a season 2? I wouldn't be surprised if it does. Knowing Netflix, because they're all about the engagement. And if there's a lot of people watching the show, that's all they need to greenlight a sequel. Like, that's the harsh reality of the matter. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a season 2. I also wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a season 2, because this shit, oh god, man. Like, come on, go back to the drafts with that one. So suffice it to say, I'm not really looking forward to the Netflix One Piece series or that Yu Yu Hakusho thing they got coming out. I just don't, man. At this point, it's just like, leave anime the fuck alone, y'all. Like, leave it. If it came down to do an anime in live action or leave it the fuck alone, I would say leave it alone. Because you can count all the good live action anime adaptations on one hand. One hand, y'all. So it's not a good look, man. We got to do better, man. Tall glass of chocolate right in front of me. Oh god, yeah, that's the actual line, Luis. Thank you, bro. Oh god. Do it for the corgi. I can't do that, Corey Gryffindor. I'd rather eat another spoonful of mayo, man. I'd rather eat a spoonful of mayo and go pet a corgi across the street than watch that shit, bro. I'll just rewatch Expanse and Firefly after this abortion of a Cowboy Bebop adaptation. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. And what's going on, Grimdark? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, I was waiting to hear if you'd actually stomach to that. God. Yeah, that's I don't know. So if you guys have been watching it and you're enjoying it, then more power to you. Who am I to tell you otherwise? I can't with that shit, bro. I will stick with my Cowboy Bebop Blu-ray. I will stick with this bad boy right here. I've had this boy for like 7 years now, and that ain't changing, man. Alrighty. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, we have got a member shout out to the homie Hustle and Motivate, who's been a member for 7 months. Thank you so much, brother. He says, the Halo Infinite multiplayer is super fire. It's great to see everyone here. Please like and share. Yes, appreciate you, Hustle and Motivate. Thank you, bro, man. But, you know, if there's something that you do need to do, we need to get you to play some horror games, bro. I heard Resident Evil Village is on sale for like 20 bucks with the Steelbook. That might be a game you stream, my friend. There might be a game. All right. Let's see. So let's move on to the third topic down the list. Oh, yes, the YouTube dislike bar. Okay, you guys. So this one's kind of an old news story. It happened last week, and I think we briefly discussed it on last week's Ask Neo. But he says, sir, you know you got to do it, bro. You got to fucking do it. You got to play Resident Evil Village. Bro, it's not even that scary. There's like one scary segment in that game. It's called the Dollhouse. And if you can get past that, you can get past anything. I got faith in you, bro. I got faith in you. But yeah, so the YouTube dislike bar. That's right, y'all. So Google, YouTube, in their infinite wisdom, because, you know, they're all about great ideas over there in California, they decided that removing the YouTube dislike bar would be the next big endeavor, right? The next hurdle to overcome, because apparently, in some reality, the YouTube dislike bar was at the top of people's list of problems on YouTube. It couldn't be, you know, the crazy issues going on with the algorithm. It couldn't be like all the other issues that people have on YouTube, like preferential treatment to bigger YouTubers. It couldn't be any of those things. We're going to focus on the dislike bar. And we're going to remove it, because apparently that's going to make people happy. Which makes no sense at the end of the day, because look at it like this. So I look at it from 2 points of view. I look at it from the point of view of a content creator, and I also look at it from the point of view as a viewer, right? Removing the dislike bar affects both entities. Looking at it from the point of view of a content creator, removing the dislike bar and only having the like bar there, that's basically what it's essentially saying is, my content, the only thing people will see about my content is how many people like it. They won't see a ratio of sorts to get a good idea of maybe this is a good video or not a good video. And the funny thing is that if you're a content creator and you make YouTube videos, you can still see that dislike bar. Why are you going to remove it from the public point of view? Like, that makes no fucking sense. It was like how they got rid of the star system in favor of like or dislike. It made no sense, because 5 stars can tell you more about whether or not someone really enjoyed a video versus just thumbs up or thumbs down. Because I can like a video that I don't enjoy most parts about it, whereas the star system on the opposite end, I got like a good idea of like, okay, if it's on 5 stars, all right, if this video was like a 70%, I'd probably do like a 3.5 stars out of 5. But to remove it from the point of view of a viewer, that's taking away the community's feedback. Why even interact with YouTube videos? If you're going to take away one part of the like to dislike ratio, why won't you take away both? Because literally all you're saying is the only thing the community is going to see is just the good stuff. That's it. You won't know if a video is bad. And it's just increasingly more frustrating, because you can tell that this was not fueled by the community. I have no type of I have no like insight into this. I don't have any insiders, so I'm just coming out with a ballpark statement here. But I would not be surprised if the reason they removed the dislike bar was to appease our corporate entities and our overlords. Because whenever these companies, like, since we're talking about gaming, we'll stay in the realm of gaming. Whenever these companies do something that is so backwards, that is so asinine, that is ridiculous, the one thing that we can do as a community outside of voting with our wallets is that we can bombard it on social media. And with YouTube videos, like take Ubisoft, for example, right? They came out with that X Defiant trailer. God awful. Like, who the hell is checking that game out, right? So obviously the dislike bar was pretty friggin' high. Nintendo videos get so many dislikes when they're out of touch. Like the most recent video they made talking about the Nintendo Switch Online, I believe was the most disliked video in Nintendo's history, up there with Federation Force. Now, why in the world would the users want that feature taken away? If anything, it shows that, hey, you guys are out of touch with your community. But for the corporate entities, if all they can do is post a video online just showing this thing and not showing the community feedback, they're going to disable comments next. Comments are the next thing to get disabled from YouTube, because that's how it all starts. They take off the dislike bar, they mute and hold certain comments. The next thing is removing comments entirely. So YouTube is literally going to become a platform where you just watch videos and then comment when you're streaming. I would not be surprised if they do shit like that. And it's just so dumb, dude. It's so dumb. Like, out of all the problems that exist on this website, you take away the dislike bar. It's you know what it is? They don't want dislikes on that that YouTube rewind video. Because they know it's coming. They know it's coming, man. It's happening. Alrighty, and the final topic, which got an overwhelming 2% of the vote. Shout out to you guys. The final topic is going to be Battlefield 2042. So I'm going to talk about some of the impressions with y'all, some of the community feedback, in addition to, you know, the oh boy, the reviews, Jesus. So I was very fortunate enough to been granted early access to Battlefield 2042. So I want to say thank you so much to Xbox for that. I got a chance to play it early on before it came out, in addition to in like the first 4-day period. And overall, I mean, like I said, I've only put in a couple of hours into Battlefield, but I enjoy it. Like it captures that Battlefield charm for me. Now, mind you, I am not a Battlefield OG veteran, so I'm not the person to talk to that compiles all the lists of things that they've removed and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Like, I'm not that person. I play Battlefield very casually, usually when I squad with my boys, and we have fun. It's enjoyable. So while I did have fun with Battlefield 2042, I feel like it's missing the spark. There's something about this game that I'm enjoying it, I'm having fun, but when I put it down, I don't get the urge to keep playing it. And I don't know what it is. Like, at first I was thinking maybe it's the guns. Maybe it's some of the things that they've changed. Maybe it's the maps. I don't know. It's fun, but it's not like the game I was thinking about for all of these months. I'm not sure. Maybe it will eventually evolve into that game, because, you know, a lot of these, unfortunately, a lot of these games, they start off in a rough place, and by rough place I mean we need to get this game out now and we'll fix it later. And it's like for me it works. The game is stable. I haven't had any type of crashes or disconnecting. I know I'm in the minority compared to everyone else. Like everyone I know, for the most part, they just, like, everyone I talk to says they have issues with Battlefield, and for once I'm the outlier. I'm like, I haven't had any issues, you guys. Like, every now and then I'll get like weird graphical glitches, but nothing that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna turn off the game and never play it. But it's not keeping me in, man. It's not keeping me in. I don't know, maybe they do have to do a couple of updates, or maybe it is the maps. Maybe the maps are too big. I don't know. Does anyone else feel like this map is too big compared to like previous Battlefield maps? I have no fucking idea, you guys. But it's fun. It's enjoyable. Like I said, if there's no game quite like Battlefield out there, so I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people who pick this up, they play it, they have fun with it, yada yada. But for me, I think it's gonna be that game I pick up and I play like maybe an hour or two a week, and I just leave it at that. It's something is off, man. Because I remember the time I played like Bad Company 2, and, you know, Battlefield 3, and then 4 when it started working. I had a lot more fun. I don't know, man. Something is off. Either something is off with the game, or something is off with my experience playing it. I'm not sure. But yeah, it seems like this game is kind of splitting the community down the middle. A lot of people are enjoying it and having fun. A lot of people are disliking it because of the performance issues and a whole bunch of other things. Like, people say like, oh, it's missing a lot of these things from past Battlefield games, yada yada yada. And the reviews, oh my god, the fucking reviews. Like, this game is like, what, in the 60s, low 70s on Metacritic, if you care about Metacritic ratings. But yeah, it's I don't know, it's not a good look, man. We'll see what happens in the future. Someone said they're removing the dislike bar because of those Black Bond videos. Yeah, man, people used to dislike the shit out of Black Bond videos back in the day. I remember anytime we talked about Nintendo, that shit had crazy dislikes. It was wild. Nintendo cried to YouTube about the expansion pass. I would not be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised, because remember, YouTube, these companies in YouTube, they're like this. And if they're going to make a decision that is going to benefit the companies that pay to have their stuff promoted on YouTube, then absolutely they're going to do that. YouTube is about to be cable, bro. Straight up. I mean, that's where they want to veer it, which is so dumb. Like, YouTube is such a simple yet beautiful concept, and the reason why it has persevered for so many years is because it hasn't, you know, like it hasn't lost that spark of, hey, go on YouTube and you can find a video about anything. But with all these dumbass decisions, it's definitely taking people away from the community side of things. Like most of the interactions we used to have on YouTube, like in comments and stuff, we're now doing that on Twitter, and we're doing that on Patreon, and we're doing that on Discord. We're doing it in all these other places that YouTube, honestly, they should have beat all of these entities to that. But now YouTube is just the place you go specifically to watch videos, like interacting in the comment section, things like that. Some people don't even do that anymore. There is a YouTube TV already. There is, yeah, they do have YouTube TV with the YouTube Premium thing where you can like subscribe to it and you get like cable channels and everything. Alrighty, let's see. There's something else I wanted to bring up real quick, but then we started talking about the whole YouTube shit. Let me scroll back up. Somebody asked a really good question. Let me see. Okay, these are all the topics talking about the comments. Alrighty, so we have a couple of super chats real quick. So Flame sent in a $2 super chat. Appreciate that, brother. Shang-Chi on my OLED, straight fire. Yes, dude, I know. And I know someone in the comments was asking me questions about when I'm gonna cop an OLED TV. Man, I really want to get myself an OLED. I do, but I gotta find a way to sell this Sony TV I got, man. If I can sell this Sony TV, even if I get like in the ballpark of what I paid, I will definitely use that money to go ahead and cop that OLED. But I gotta see, man. I gotta see, because them OLEDs, oh, golly. It's like one of those things where if you're gonna spend the money already, you might as well spend a little bit more to cop that OLED. So I'll see if I can like Craigslist this TV and find somebody to buy it. I'll use that money, put it towards an OLED, and then all will be great in Casa de Neo. Once a competitor comes, people like Mr. Beast should promote it, though. It'll probably be blacklisted by YouTube. So I assume you're talking about if there's like a competitor to YouTube. You see, that's the thing, bro. Like there have been competitors in the past, and you've had some people go to those websites and shit, but they never take off, man. Like there's just something, obviously, like YouTube has the mind share, of course, and a lot of those other entities, it's going to take time to build the infrastructure, build the service. But man, I'm just waiting for the one that gives YouTube a run for their money, man. Like if they can have this type of like feature or something that gets people to watch it there, that'll be the one. But I don't think taking content creators away from this service is going to benefit and bolster that new service, because there's going to be a lot of people that just don't make the switch. You'll have the hardcore fans who will follow their creators, but for the gen pop, right? And discoverability is going to be shit. You know what I'm saying? So they have to do something to entice people over there rather than dropping a bag, because like what would happen with Mixer and Microsoft, they spent so much money to secure talent. They had Ninja over there exclusive. But like, let's be real. There's a reason why Twitch is still around and YouTube gaming is around, but not Mixer. Like you can't just take talent from one to bolster a fledgling service to get it off the ground. You've got to do a hell of a lot more than that. You've got to do the groundwork to what people want. You got to listen to the community, like implement those features that people want, and then you start enticing people over. That's when you start getting the big people, like maybe not secure them exclusively for your service, but add some more incentives. Like if you come over here, you'll get like a better payout, or if you come over here, we'll promote your stuff, or like whatever. And then that's when people start going like, oh, okay, interesting. Every other TV has been ruined for me since I got my LG. Yo, bro, I'm telling you, them OLED panels, every time I go into Costco or Best Buy, I see them and I'm like, damn, one day, man, one day. Oh, God, everyone in here is talking about that LG C1CX. I know, JH, I know. That shit is nice. Mixer, more like needs a fixer. That's a fact. That's a fact. Mixer was a pretty good streaming service, but they didn't do a lot to make it stand out compared to Twitch. Yeah, it literally just came off as like an alternative to Twitch rather than a competitor to Twitch. Like, oh, it'll be integrated into the Xbox ecosystem. What the fuck does that mean? Who the fuck cares? What about all the people who don't do that? What about the people who just like it for streaming PC games or streaming from their capture cards versus their consoles? You know? They got to do a lot better. They got to do a lot better. I remember there was a lot of competitors. Psych. Like I remember there was VO, VEOH. There was Dailymotion. There was another one. Like you said, VidMe. That is VidMe, and then there was another one I forgot. But it was like grand opening, grand closing type shit. What's going on, Zack Rodriguez? What's up, Marcus? What's up, J-Mac? Which movie did you prefer, Shang-Chi or The Suicide Squad? Between the two of them, I preferred The Suicide Squad when I'm not fanboying over Shang-Chi, which happens a lot of the time throughout the week. So if I fanboy out of Shang-Chi 6 out of 7 days of the week, then that 7th day of the week, I fanboy about The Suicide Squad. But honestly, if I had to pick one movie to rewatch over and over again, it would definitely be Shang-Chi. I loved Shang-Chi. I'm a sucker for wuxia movies. I'm a sucker for martial arts. I'm a sucker for family drama when it's handled very well. And Tony Leung, I fucking love the dude. He's great. What do you think went wrong with the Cowboy Bebop show? How come Netflix can't get these shows right? I'll tell you why. Because they put their D-list writers, directors, producers, and talent on these shows. And they just want to ape off of an established property rather than actually giving a damn. That's literally what it comes down to. Like, you know how it took so many years for us to finally start getting good superhero comic book movies? That's the period that anime is in right now, where it's taking so long to get proper adaptations. Every now and then we'll get some good stuff like the Rurouni Kenshin movies, the Gintama movies, things like that. But if we're talking like epic scale and scope, nah, it's gonna be a while. But yeah, they just employ people that think they know better than the show. Like, they know better than the show's creators. Like, we're gonna do things and we're gonna make it better and hip to Americans and all. The thing, what a lot of people don't realize about Cowboy Bebop is that it was such a huge hit in the West. I think more than in Japan. So in taking that show, and the reason why it appealed to a lot of Westerners was because of the vibe it gave off. There's a lot of people who watch Bebop as a sci-fi show, not an anime. It just so happens to be anime. And they just took everything. I don't even know what they watched from the Bebop show that would give them like, okay, this is what Bebop's all about, and this is what our Netflix show is going to be about. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if you read a handful of Spider-Man comics, you understand what the point of the character is. Great power, great responsibility. You know, it's about this kid got bit by a spider, and it's about his adventures, his daily struggles with trying to be this superhero that's larger than life, and at the same time trying to be a great person in the real, and how, you know, sometimes the things do not mix well together, and the struggles that come from that. That's why Spider-Man is such a relatable story to people, because they can see themselves, because everybody has been in a situation where they just try to juggle everything and they just want to be happy, but they can't. And then there's the whole concept of the greater good and putting aside your self-interest for the betterment of other people. Like, there's a lot of stuff to Spider-Man, and you could read a couple of comics and understand that. Bebop, oh my god, like, even shorter amount of time, you can just watch that whole show beginning to end and understand what it's all about. But for them to supposedly do that and then not understand what the show's about, I don't get it, man. $9.99 super chat from the homie John McKinney. Thank you so much, bro. Since Bob Iger is officially leaving next month, do you think the Disney company will get better or worse? Bob Iger is the reason Disney has gone down the toilet. Michael Eisner was the superior CEO. Ooh, John McKinney. So I feel like we're gonna differ a bit on this one, bro. But yes, so for those who are unaware, Bob Iger has been the longtime CEO for the Walt Disney Company for, I want to say, like, what, the past 16 years or so, something around that ballpark. He announced at the beginning of 2020, or was it end of 2019, that he was retiring. You know, but it wasn't like an effective immediate retiring. Like, you know, he was just like transitioning into a different position where he has more flexibility, and in the meantime he'd be like mentoring his successor, which was Bob Chapek. So they're replacing a Bob Iger, they're replacing one Bob for another Bob. All right. And then Bob Chapek took over at the beginning of 2020, and I mean, I feel bad for the guy because he took over the Walt Disney Company at probably the worst time in the company's history, because we were going into a pandemic. All the parks were closed. Movie and TV production was shut down completely. So like, what do you do as a CEO? But the thing is, a lot of the moves that Bob Chapek has been making in the past year and a half have been very strange, like extremely strange. Like, so one of the best things about Bob Iger as a CEO, in my honest opinion, is that he always put the talent first and foremost. So when we're talking about Pixar, Marvel, things like that, he always was like very proud of those things. And he's like, okay, we're going to focus on all these things. And that's why the Disney company has become as big as it is now, because of a lot of the deals that he made from the studio side of things, like in producing film and all that stuff. Like, he's grown the Disney brand to an insane degree. And then you have this dude Bob Chapek come in, and it's like, you don't get the same vibe with this dude. You don't. Now, mind you, like I said, it's still early on. He hasn't really had a lot of time to be a true CEO because, like I said, he's been in the worst possible situation anybody can be. But just the moves that he has been making have been really weird. There was the whole Scarlett Johansson debacle, and like there's just some things about how CEOs handle one thing versus another. Okay, best way I could describe it for gamers: Phil Spencer, Don Matrick, right? Phil Spencer and how he says things versus how Don Matrick and how he said things, like how they delivered certain speeches and certain things. But you know, I'm willing to give him a shot to see where he takes the company in the future. It's going to be interesting. Like, you always want to root for people to do good. Unfortunately, it doesn't really end up like that, but we'll see. But to your point, John McKinney saying, will Disney get better or worse? I have no idea, man. I don't think any company knows exactly where they're going to be in the next couple of years, because the past 2 years have been anything but guaranteed, because it's just such a different world we're living in right now. And the next, like, 2023 is, honest to God, the first year I think we can actually see everything get back to normal. Like, I'm talking 100%, like fully everything is good to go. So maybe then we can revisit that topic of conversation to see where Disney is going to end up. But for you saying Michael Eisner was the superior CEO, I mean, I will say this much about Michael Eisner and what he did for Disney. Like, just the amount of animated movies that we had under his regime was fucking incredible. Like the whole Disney Renaissance era and things like that. But at the same time, he had a lot of internal power battles with the people at Disney, and when he exited the company, it was anything but pleasant. So we'll see. I mean, you say he was the superior CEO. I mean, if we're looking at the raw numbers and the data, that would be Bob Iger. But I mean, I think it's like different strokes for different folks. Like, certain people like certain things that one CEO did and what they focused on a lot versus another, you know? Like with Bob Chapek, he definitely seems like he's more of a numbers man, because he doesn't come from the same background as Bob Iger. Bob Chapek was if I remember correctly, he was in charge of the Disney parks. So he ran the Disney parks, and from people I've talked to worked at Disney parks, they said they weren't really feeling him, like his regime. They didn't respond to it as well as like previous Disney leadership. So for him to run all of Disney now, obviously it's going to be very weird. Like, you can be a numbers person, but at the same time, you've got to be a people person too. You've got to be that man. You've got to be the face of the company in terms of crunching numbers and in terms of like listening to what people want. It can't just be, all right, let's focus exactly on what's selling. Sometimes you have to, you know, throw something out there and you don't know if it's going to be a success. Like, I wonder if Bob Chapek, would he have greenlit Guardians of the Galaxy? That's my number one question. Would he have greenlit some of those weirder movies that we have gotten? Or would he stick by the status quo of, oh, you're going to get this, you're going to get that, you're going to get what works and what's popular? I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see. We have a $2 super chat from Echoes93. Playing Halo Infinite multiplayer lately? Yes. So I haven't played it in a few days because it's been a little busy out here, but I did get a chance to play it on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I really enjoyed it, man. Echoes, if you're interested, I actually did a full-on discussion talking about the Infinite multiplayer. Towards the beginning of the stream. It was one of the first topics we handled. So if you're interested in hearing like my full thoughts about everything, definitely go check that out. But I am enjoying it. It needs a couple of tweaks to the progression system, which are coming. The tweaks are happening, and some other things like playlists and stuff. But it's really solid, man. The core gameplay is great. Let's see. Hey, Neo, do you think that someone at Pixar pissed off one of the heads of Disney because their last two movies got shafted and released straight to Disney Plus, Soul and Luca? Oh, that's another thing. What was your nickname again? Was it Potsy? It was Potsy, right? That's another thing, Potsy. That's why a lot of people at Pixar were pissed, because apparently that was strictly a Bob Chapek move. When the whole pandemic thing was happening, he's like, okay, we're gonna put these movies on Disney Plus day and date, no questions asked. But the crazy thing is, Pixar, out of all companies, right? Pixar has been a tried and true creative in the Disney staple, where a lot of people falter, like a lot of other banners under the Disney umbrella where they falter. Pixar is always tried and true. Pixar has only ever had, I think, like 1.5 flops in their history. Everything else has been moderately successful to extremely successful. So for you to go and take a movie like Mulan and put it on Disney Plus Premier Access for $30, and then put Soul, which it's so funny when you look at it, Soul was the more successful movie in terms of audience reception, critical, yada yada, and you put that for free on Disney Plus. I know people at Pixar are pissed, so it's literally saying, oh, so the live action movies will go ahead and get this Disney Plus premiere thing and theatrical release, yet the animated ones get to go on Disney Plus. Like, you completely take away the theatrical experience. You take away that option from Pixar, which honestly, it sucks, man, because it wasn't just once, it was twice. And yeah, I would not be surprised if there was a lot of division going on between Disney Studios and Disney leadership for decisions like that. Of course, there was the whole Scarlett Johansson issue I talked about, and I don't even know if some of the, well, obviously now that everything's hunky-dory, they patched things up, they've renegotiated the contracts, but he just blindsided everybody, similar to what they did with like HBO Max, the day and date stuff. Exact same thing. Or at least with the HBO Max stuff, I think they at least consulted with a few of the people beforehand. Not everybody, but majority of folks, compared to like Disney, where they're like, nope, these are all the movies Premier Access, and these movies are all free on Disney Plus. And it's like, wow. Yeah, no, honestly, like, if we're talking like Disney flops, I'm talking Disney flops from Pixar. The Good Dinosaur, and I can't really count Onward because it was released during the pandemic, but yeah, that was like the only Pixar flop. The Good Dinosaur, to my recollection, I don't think anything else really flopped. And I don't really count the Cars movies because they're still very successful for Disney. They're the most successful entities for Disney. If we're talking like Pixar, so that's why I don't really count them. Like, if we're talking quality, yeah, the Cars movies aren't great, but in terms of like what Disney views Pixar and what makes money, like, that's bingo, number one. Cars 2 had me question Pixar's existence. Yeah, no, they literally did that for toy sales, bro. The worst of the worst in Pixar is just the Cars movies, because they're just purely fueled by toy sales. And I mean, Toy Story is too, but at least Toy Story, they didn't pump out like so many entries in such a short amount of time, man. They took their time with that shit. Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2, then 10 plus years later, Toy Story 3, 10 years later, Toy Story 4, and then we have little shorts in between, but that's it, man. Ooh, we got a $4.99 super chat coming in from Good Life J. Thank you so much. Neo, love the content. Any specific upcoming game or movie you're excited for? Yes, it's called all of 2022, my friend. Yeah, 2022 is fucking stacked. Like, the deck is stacked, guys. There's so much stuff coming out in February alone that it's absolutely insane. Like, just off the top of my head, games I'm excited for next year. Final Fantasy 16 is damn near at the top of the list. I'm really excited to check out Forspoken. I want to check out the new Redfall game from Arcane. I want to see what that's all about. Of course, Starfield is going to be a big game. Horizon Forbidden West, Breath of the Wild 2, or whatever the heck they're calling it. That's going to be really fun. Like, there's just so much shit coming out next year, man. Like, so much fucking stuff. Movie-wise, I mean, any of the, like, major tentpole films, like the major blockbusters, like Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is my most anticipated movie for next year. Because just looking at all the other superhero movies, it's like Doctor Strange and the Batman are right there at the top. And then everything else I'm kind of like, I'm excited for, but I'm not like, yo, let's fucking go. Like, that's Doctor Strange and Batman for me. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff. So I know people are like, yo, let's spend all the money on Black Friday. You might want to pace yourselves with all the fucking games coming out in February. Pace yourself. You know what I do want to see though? I want to finally see gameplay for that Hogwarts Legacy game. Cause bro, I love how they just announced that shit last year and we ain't seen nothing, man. I mean, there was that leaked video a few years ago but we haven't seen zero. We've seen zilch on that game. Hopefully at the Game Awards we get like some type of a trailer, man. I need that. Why couldn't we get a Chicken Little 2? I think Chicken Run 2. What did it say? Hold on. He said, I think Chicken Run 2. Where did your comment go? It just disappeared. Why couldn't we get a Chicken Little 2? I think Chicken Run 2 comes out in 2023. You know, Chicken Little wasn't the most successful Disney movie. A lot of people didn't gel with it. So that's purely the reason why we didn't get another one. All right. Yeah, oh, you guys are listing some really good games in the comments. Stalker 2, Project Triangle Strategy, Bayonetta 3, Redfall, Halo Infinite. He said Halo. Flame! So, okay, here's the inside joke with Flame saying that Halo Infinite comes out in 2022. For Flame, Halo Infinite does not come out until co-op comes out. And the way it's looking, it doesn't seem like co-op is coming out until, like, May. So, for Flame, Halo Infinite is a May 2022 launch. And then the homie Marcus Doyle Terrell, who's been a member for 17 months. Thank you so much, brother. Do you remember that era of Disney where they tried to make movies that were musicals? Atlantis, Lilo and Stitch, Treasure Planet, etc. Yes. Oh my God. The experimental Disney era of the late 90s, early 2000s. Man, oh my God, dude. That was such an interesting time in Disney's period because they were coming off of such a successful run. Like from 1989 up into the year 2000, banger after banger after banger after banger. Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, Hercules, Mulan, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Pocahontas. There were so many amazing Disney movies that came out in the 90s. Aladdin, how could I forget that one? Like a lot of good stuff. And then because Disney had gotten so much clout, they were like, you know what? Let's start doing different things. Let's create different animated movies. And that's what they started to do. We got movies like Atlantis, The Lost Empire. We got Treasure Planet, Lilo and Stitch, Home on the Range, Brother Bear. Like we got a bunch of different Disney movies. And the main constant across all of those films is that they weren't musicals. Like they might have music influences in there, but they aren't musicals. The characters don't sing. And unfortunately, where the public was at that time was they were conditioned that a Disney movie was, okay, sing-alongs, musicals, very whimsical, very like quirky, that type of shtick. Which is why a lot of these endeavors in the early 2000s flopped. Like the only movie that really came out strong from that period of time was Lilo and Stitch. Because Lilo and Stitch, of course, it spawned sequels, animated series, things like that. Everything else, like they tried their best, man. Like Atlantis, The Lost Empire had like a TV show sequel thing. It wasn't that great. Treasure Planet just outright bombed. And it sucks because those two movies, you guys know I've talked about this at great length, like countless times, but Atlantis, The Lost Empire, and Treasure Planet are two of my all-time favorite Disney movies. Not animated Disney movies. I'm talking about Disney movies in general. They were so damn good. And if you guys have not seen them, please take 90 minutes. Go watch them on Disney+. They're so good. Atlantis, The Lost Empire, I'm not a fan of the Disney remakes, but if they were going to do a remake or a live-action version of something, Atlantis, The Lost Empire has the most franchise potential because that's what Disney's all about. They want to monetize everything. Atlantis, The Lost Empire, it's essentially, think of like an animated version of Stargate. Like think of that, man. An animated version of Stargate, mix in like the reason why people love shows like Firefly, but in an animated form. Atlantis is so fucking good, man. And it just, the audiences were like, well, we don't care that there's this great story. We don't care that there's these beautiful visuals. Where's the singing? Where's the tap dancing? Where's the funny animated characters? And it just fucking sucks, man. And I went to the theaters to watch Atlantis, and I fucking loved it as a kid. So much so that literally, I shit you not, we went to the theaters, we watched Atlantis, and then we waited for the next showing. And we tried to like sneak. You remember? You guys remember movie hopping back in the day before we had assigned seats? You would just like movie hop from theater to theater. My sister and I just, after we finished that, we were blown away. And we just sat in that theater waiting for it to start again. And we started watching it. We got about like 30 minutes into it before mom was like, she came into the theater. She said, what are you guys doing in here? And we were like, no, we want to watch the movie again. It was so fucking good. And yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks. I enjoyed a couple of the movies in that era, but I can see why they changed the approach, because Treasure Planet and Atlantis were great movies, maybe for different demographics. Lilo and Stitch was the only one that was marketable to like the Gen Pop, and everything else was just kind of not that great. So that's why they were like, you know what, screw this. We're going to focus on like CG movies, and Pixar was really on the rise. Oh, that's another big factor. You were looking at the success of movies like Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo. All these movies were making damn near close to $1 billion. And then you look at Treasure Planet and all those other movies, and Disney's like, why the hell are we spending money on this movie? Let's keep throwing it at all these other things, and, you know, screw hand-drawn animation. Like, and what's wild is that Disney did not return to that hand-drawn era until The Princess and the Frog. And since then, they really haven't done much. It's a shame, because Princess and the Frog, I fucking loved it. I knew the second I saw the trailer for Princess and the Frog, I would fucking love it. Because I'm a big fan of hand-drawn animation. And when you inject the Disney love into that shit, oh my God. And it sucks they really haven't done much with that. I mean, they do some things, but man, come on. Alrighty. Let's see. $4.99 super chat from Zack Rodriguez. Thank you, bro. Neo, do you think Tales of Arise is worth picking up for $40? I haven't played any of the games, but I've been in a JRPG mood since Persona 3. Support the JRPGs? Answer your question, Zack Rodriguez. Yes, Tales of Arise at that price, at $60. I fucking love it. Now, I'm not a fan of how the game's final act is, and you'll understand that when you get later on, but the majority of the game, like the gameplay, the story, the characters, the combat, oh, dude, you're gonna fucking love it. It's a very big difference compared to Persona 3, because Persona 3 is turn-based, Tales of Arise is an action RPG, but dude, it's so good, man. Oh my God, I fucking loved it. So yeah, at $40, man, that's a fucking steal. And then we got Blue Senshi coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you, bro. Can't wait till December. My vacation is coming up soon. Happy I'm getting a little time to rest during overtime. Oh yeah, bro. The holiday season is fucking brutal for overtime, man. And you know, I'm so happy you're gonna get some rest, man. I don't know what you're gonna be doing for it. If you're gonna be going away somewhere, or if you're just gonna fucking vegetate, play games, watch some shows. But man, enjoy that shit. Because I remember when I used to work retail back in the day. Oh man, dude, there were. So my first job ever, I worked at, and if you guys are in the Northeast, you'll know this place. My first job was a cashier at Stop and Shop grocery store. That was my very first job. I was in, so I got the job when I was in 11th grade, and I worked that job all the way up to my first year in college. And man, that dude, every Sunday, every holiday, it was a fucking mess like no tomorrow, bro. And mind you, we were just a grocery store. We weren't like a grocery store hybrid like Walmart or Target where you can buy other things and then buy your groceries too. But man, oh my God, it was so fucking brutal, dude. Like, just retail during the holidays is the fucking worst, man. And it made it even worse because you can never request off during that time, because they blacked out like half of November and all of December as holiday period. Like straight up, like no request off, none of that. We need all hands on deck. And as a kid, I was like, oh, I get it, you know, because we're all working. As an adult, if I see a job that does that shit, I'm like, oh, y'all got it. Y'all good. Y'all have fun. I'm good. I'm still calling out. But yeah, bro, enjoy that vacation, my friend. Ooh, and then we got a $5 super chat coming in from the homie GC Plugs, my man Bobby, checking in from work. Hope you're doing well, bro. You finished Arise yet? Yo, bro, I'm working my way through that last chapter in Arise. Like, I'm not gonna get into spoilers, guys, but the last chapter of Arise is legit like 95% dialogue. 95% dialogue and only a couple of battles sprinkled in. And that's kind of what's putting me off, because when I go from playing Halo Infinite and I'm just like, yo, this is fucking dope. This is gonna be sacrilegious, but yo, I'm playing fucking Halo Infinite, got my DualSense here. This is fucking sick. Oh my God, just adrenaline high of playing a fucking video game. And then you go to Tales of Arise and you get one battle and then boom, cutscene. Come out of the cutscene, walk 2 steps, cutscene. Come out of the cutscene, you have a skit, cutscene. And to me, it's like, that's just bad storytelling. If you do an exposition dump in the last like 5 hours of the game, it turns me off, man. So I went from binging this game like no tomorrow to literally having 2 hours left to completion, and I just can't sit through those cutscenes, man. It's brutal, but I'm gonna get through it, y'all. I'm gonna get through it. $2 super chat from Blue Senshi. My first job was Carl's Jr. Retail's the worst. Dude, retail, fast food, like people do not understand. And this is the funny thing I always say. I always say that every single person needs to work 30 days in retail or 30 days in fast food before they start talking shit about those jobs. Because a lot of people saying stuff like, oh, you're just flipping burgers or you're just bagging groceries, blah, blah, blah. Why do you guys deserve to get paid? Those people don't understand that you are dealing with some of the most toxic bullshit on a daily basis. Anybody that has worked retail where you have to bite your tongue over stupid, idiotic, moronic customers, let alone moronic management, they will know how tough that shit is, how mentally draining and taxing it can be. Sure, it's easy. Anybody can do it. Well, if anyone can do it, then why don't you go over there and do that? Let's see how you last for 30 days where somebody is insulting you to your face because their coupon is expired. Like, you lose faith in the human race when you work retail or fast food. I'm telling you, bro. These people, they gotta know. Do I have any Thanksgiving plans? No, honestly, not too much, bro. I'm not really big on holidays. Usually I use the holidays to just wind down, relax, and spend a lot of time with my family. That's something I'm really glad I've been able to do for the past couple of years, because there was a period in my life where, you know, every single holiday I was always working for whatever reason. And, you know, just you really appreciate the opportunity to spend time with your loved ones, whether it's your friends, your family, or if you're just chilling. You really do appreciate that stuff. So like last year was honestly one of my favorite Thanksgiving experiences, just having my entire immediate family together. And it's so surreal, guys, because, you know, now that, you know, my sister and I were in similar age ranges, my brother has always been the one that's, you know, because there's an age difference, six year difference with me, 8 years with my sister. We could never really include him in a lot of our conversations because he was always younger. But it was like the second he turned 21, it was like, all right, well, we're all cool. Who wants to light up the blunt? Like, straight up, that's what it's become, right? So last year, after we had our Thanksgiving food, we were just all chilling and we were watching like Disney movies. We were watching anime. We were doing shots. We were like lighting up. It was so fucking fun, dude. And it's just nice because it's not like we're doing that to get fucked up. We were doing that while we were enjoying each other's company, and I live for that shit, man. The older I get, like a lot of people say, like, I don't know why y'all love spending time just being online, talking to your friends. Wouldn't you want to go outside and do something? What people don't realize is that these moments, these experiences, even if it's just for 5 minutes, 15 minutes, that means a lot to a lot of people. And when you're able to actually materialize that into the real world and just like break bread with these people that you meet, like, dude, it's so fucking awesome. Like, I can't wait for the day where we all have teleportation devices in our wristwatches and we can just teleport to places, you know, like straight up instant transmission. Because I would definitely be that type of person where I'm like, yo, we having a potluck Thanksgiving, everybody bring your own dish, and then, you know, like we'll have like Corey Gryffindor come over, he'll bring a jar of mayo because that's all he eats. We'll have the homie Bobby come through, we'll have like everybody come through. Like I live for that shit, and that's what's important. It's not about stunt for social media that, yeah, I'm out and about on Thanksgiving Eve. It's about spending that time with quality people. And I've had more fun on a Wednesday evening at a bar talking to my homies, the bartender, a couple randoms, than I ever have going to a club and just standing there to look cool, man. It's like the little things you appreciate in life. All right. $2 super chat from Flame. You forgot to list Starfield and Slime Rancher 2. I did list Starfield. I did say Starfield, bro. I said it on the list. Or unless you're talking about your list of things that you wrote. $4.99 for Corey Gryffindor. Just get Nomura to make Treasure Planet and Atlantis relevant again. Simple as that, or clean. Ah, Corey Gryffindor. Oh, you a sneaky one. You smarty, bro. You smarty. Dude, I've been... How many times am I going to look back on my Facebook post and come across Kingdom Hearts 3 needs to have Treasure Planet or Atlantis. I've been saying this shit since 2013, and we haven't gotten nothing. In Kingdom Hearts 4, if we get Treasure Planet and Atlantis, I don't give a fuck. That is a day one game. I will buy the expensive $300 special edition. If you give me both those worlds, Tetsuya Nomura, I'm there day one. I don't even care if the game is doo-doo. I don't even care. You got my $300 right there. Hey, good to see you, Savage. Hope work is going well, man. And shout out to everybody who's tuning in from work right now, man. Shout out to y'all. I just got out of Carl's Jr. 8 months ago. Best decision of my life. 3 years of sweat and stress. Yup. Yeah, people don't realize, man, that shit is taxing, bro. If you can deal with an entire drive-through line and deal with people ordering in the store and deal with having to bag the shit yourself too, like it's a lot of stuff, man. I'm working retail at Walmart Black Friday at 4 a.m. Oh shit, Godspeed to you, Corey Gryffindor. I have not gone Black Friday shopping, like actual shopping on the day, in so many years, man. I've just been doing everything online. Every now and then I'll go in, like, because, you know, Best Buy last year, they had their Black Friday deals in stores, like what, a week or two beforehand, a week after. So that's what I do, man, because I don't go those days, man. But I think that also comes with being a savvy consumer, a savvy shopper. Because if you're looking for, like, oh, wow, you know what the biggest realization was? Those TVs that they have on sale for Black Friday are never the good TVs you want. People look at that because it's like, wow, a 65-inch 4K for $300? Don't trust that shit. You run far away. That's probably like a Westinghouse or something. That's like, that's King David's favorite type of TV, man. No TCL for this man. He loves them Westinghouses. That's his shit right there. Oh, my man's is on that double. My man's is on that double. This NGS Live makes it easier, no lie, yo. Appreciate you, Bobby. I appreciate you, bro. Bobby, we gotta link up to sometime, man. I'm fully vaccinated now, so I can go into the city. So we gotta link up, bro. Seriously. Because I've known this dude for fucking almost, what, 13 years, bro? Holy shit. All right. I'm thinking of getting Deathloop since it's on sale. Should I go for PS5 or PC? Honestly, I'd say go for whatever is your preferred platform. They both run at 60 frames per second, so it just comes down to, do you want to play it on PlayStation or do you want to play it on PC? You can probably find cheaper deals on PC, but if you don't really care about playing, where do you play the most, Maddie? Where do you play the most? Somewhere when Neo said that, King felt a chill down his spine. If I open my window, I will hear King. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that, like, King, Boomstick, Everborn, like, all of us, like, we all live within the same vicinity. It's fucking insane. Like, I didn't know that until after the fact. I was like, the fuck? Shit's dope, man. Like, King and I straight up, like, every now and then I see him when I'm on my way to the gym. I'll be like, hey, King! Shit is funny, bro. Yeah, the Black Friday deals are right now on Best Buy, which is why I'm just going to order them all online. I'll probably just pick them up tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do. What kind of combat improvements do you want them to make for the Spider-Man sequel? In my opinion, I need boss fights to be better. Yeah, boss fights are at the top of my list too, Marcus. I would like more dynamic and interactive boss fights. A lot of the boss fights in that Spider-Man game were just, they're okay. Standard, vanilla, missionary, nothing to it. But to do it. So I'd want better boss fights in that game. The typical combat improvements they always do. I think with the focus on next gen, we might get more environmental. We might get more use out of the environment in this Spider-Man game, which would be awesome because that's one thing I did love about Spider-Man, how he was able to just take bits and pieces of the environment and then string those into combos. That was awesome. But yeah, just like all the little subtle tweaks and refinements that they do from sequel to sequel, I would love to see that. Maybe make the open world more compelling rather than just, because I'm gonna be real, outside of collecting the Spider-Man comics, I didn't really do much else. Like, what else was there to do in that game? You collected the comics, you could go to the landmarks, that was really fun. But other than that, I didn't do anything. I didn't care for like the active events that go on. I didn't do like the hideout stuff. I did a few of them to pass the time and level up, but yeah, none of that was really too compelling in an open world game. So maybe if they, oh, you know what I would love? Oh man, now I can bring this idea out again. Since they're doing Miles and Peter in the sequel, I would love for them to structure it kind of like Grand Theft Auto 5, where you can control both characters, and on the map you'll have some missions that are Peter Parker specific to advance the story. You'll have other missions that are Miles Morales specific to advance the story. And the characters have their own unique different skill trees that you upload. Content creator mode. They have their own specific skills trees that you can unlock stuff along the way. And it just makes things infinitely more compelling rather than just, okay, you do 2 chapters as Peter, then you do 2 chapters as Miles, and then you go from there. Like, I would love for it to like be where you can switch things up and do stuff. And then maybe some of the stuff you do, depending on which Spider-Man you pick, has an impact on how the story progresses. Obviously, it's not going to be like a night and day difference, like, oh, your choices matter, but similar to what they did with the Guardians of the Galaxy game. Because that game, you can choose certain dialogue options, and they don't affect the outcome of the game, but they change the structure of events. I didn't realize that until I watched a YouTube video. Like, I already did this one part, but I was stuck on one piece, and I went online to just like see like, how do you get past this? And I looked online and I was like trying to find where I was in this part, and I was like, did we even play the whole game? Did I miss something? And I was like, oh, the dialogue option changed it, so the thing that I did, this person didn't even do at all. Like, it was fucking crazy, dude. So I would love to see more of that in the Spider-Man sequel. Yeah, Taskmaster was the best fight. Team Link Up Manhattan. Facts, yo. Facts. We'll see. Maybe we'll do like we might do like a holiday meetup, like an impromptu meetup. Nothing too crazy. Like, we ain't go like host at a venue or something. But we might get a couple people come through. Maybe do like a dinner reservation. Maybe go see a movie. If anyone's around like New York, do you guys would you guys be down for that? I know we got Rhino in the chat. Rhino will come. Havoc would come. We can drag Bobby to come. We can get a bunch of people, yeah. Where's my Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg sequel, Sega? Well, where all their other IPs are, they just don't do shit with them. I'm surprised we don't have a new Jet Set Radio game, bro. Bro, they need to get Insomniac. They need to get Insomniac to work on Jet Set Radio. They really do. Because after Sunset Overdrive, I'm like, yep, give it to Insomniac. Guess what? The quesadilla Taco Bell doesn't have this red mayo. Only the $1 craving thingamajig, the mini quesadilla. Oh, that's lame, bro. I hate when they do that shit. Have you played the Diamond and Pearl remix? I've been enjoying it. It seems like it's Pokemon season and everyone's hopping on it. Yeah, Diamond and Pearl remix came out this week. I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been tempted to buy that. I have not played Pokemon since Pokemon X and Y. So that was like, what, 2013? That was the last major Pokemon game I played. And I've been thinking, like, you know, it's been like 8 years. Maybe I'll get the Diamond and Pearl remix. I was gonna get Sword and Shield, but I just looked at that game and I was like, ugh. And Diamond and Pearl, it does not look like it justifies the $60. It looks like a very boneless remake. But still, something about that generation I really loved. So honestly, I'd be picking it up purely for the nostalgia part. And then I would be a part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I don't know. That $60 for a Pokemon game, I'll probably just play through once and not really do much else. Because, you know, I'm not into the competitive scene. I don't do like, I don't even know what people call. I remember there was a time where they called like EV training or something. I don't fucking know, man. I play Pokemon games for the main story campaign, and that's basically it. I don't do online battles or anything like that. But Diamond and Pearl, man, I loved that generation, bro. That was the first Pokemon game where I actually counted down the days until it released. And I'll never forget, I picked up my copy. I got Pearl. I bought it at if anyone's in like the New York, New Jersey area, I think you'll know this place. I bought it the Sunday it came out. You remember when Nintendo games used to come out on Sundays? Holy crap. I bought it the Sunday it came out at the Target in the Palisades. If you guys know the giant Palisades Mall, There was a Target there. I think there still is a Target. And I remember we went to the Palisades because I think my sister had to do shopping. And I was like, okay, you know what? I need to buy Pokemon, so I'm going to buy Pokemon here. And then I'll never forget just asking the employee to unlock the cage so he could give me the DS game. Oh, man, good times, bro. And another reason why I kind of don't want to pick it up right now is because I still have to go through Metroid Dread and Shin Megami Tensei 5. So I'm just like, no, let me not buy another game. Oh, speaking of SMT5, for those who have been playing it, what are y'all's impressions? Because I know it came out last week and, you know, some people didn't have a lot of time to play it. But for those who have played it, what do you guys think about it? Arceus looks spooky like a PS2 game. Well, I mean, let's be fair. A lot of Nintendo games, they don't look the generation they're supposed to. They always look like one gen behind. That's just Nintendo. Yup. Way back when, man. It's been almost 15 years since that game came out. It's absolutely insane. Oh, it has all the gens of Pokemon there? Okay, that's pretty good, Corey. That's cool. Can you, I don't know. Like I said, I have not played Pokemon in such a long time. But can you, like, catch a Charmander in the wild? Can you catch a Squirtle in the wild? Or are they, like, really rare and you have to do, like, certain events to catch them? Because I would love to just catch, like a Charmander. Oh, God. Everyone's like, I love SMT5. I hate the performance. Yeah. That's what happens with the Switch games, man. With them Switch games, you sacrifice performance for portability. I would not be surprised if that game does end up on PC within a year. Just knowing how a lot of these Japanese companies have been with their Switch exclusives. Like Octopath Traveler and Bravely Default 2 both came to PC within like, what, 6 months, a year? I know Bravely Default was a couple of months. Octopath might have been a year. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see SMT5 on PC next year. Maybe on PS4 as well. I hope it comes to other consoles, man. Shit. You can't catch them in the wild? Aw, damn. Because I would have copped that Pokemon game if I can just catch the starters in the wild. So how do you get them? Do you have to do the trading thing or something? Which is better, Persona or Shin Megami Tensei games? I feel like so if we're talking like the main SMT series, just the main SMT series, like SMT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would say I enjoy the Persona series a lot more. I enjoy the characters a lot more. I enjoy a lot of the story a lot more in those games. But at the same time, I prefer a lot of the SMT gameplay and the challenge that comes with those games. Like SMT4, it's not the hardest game in the world, but it was definitely challenging and it made me like reevaluate. You know, because you know how when you play games that are of a certain speed and then you go back and you play like a really difficult RPG and you're like, damn, I really have to know everything about my character. I need to know everything about the, like, since we talk about RPGs like Pokemon and SMT and shit like that, you need to know every single thing about your particular demon and their stats and their traits and all that stuff that goes into it. I do enjoy a lot of the SMT gameplay more, but man, the Persona series with the characters and the stories, that's what always keeps me coming back, man. And the aesthetics of those Persona games is nice. But I mean, they're both made by the same company, so it's kind of like choosing, what do you want, like Final Fantasy? Or do you want like Dragon Quest, you know? Same company, just different teams. Let's see. Question for Neo. Why does Nintendo get away with being outdated and overcharging people for handheld games just because they're playable on a TV? Shout out to my boy, Fun Speculation. Shout out to my boy, Mav. Hope you're feeling better, my friend, because I know you were sick last week. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Mav, you already know the answer to this, bro. Nintendo gets away with all the things that they do because of their nostalgia. That's it, bro. That branding is so strong and it's ingrained in people's mind. And depending on who the person is, they might put aside their values, their morals, the things that they apply to regular, like, everyday companies. They might not do that for Nintendo. So let's be real about life for a second, right? We're talking about $70 games. People don't like $70 games. Okay, that's fine. But then they go buy Nintendo games, where Nintendo games are now more expensive than they were back then. Like, they're releasing Wii games on the Switch for $10 more than they cost on the Wii. So it's one of those things where if you're anti something Xbox or PlayStation does, but you stand Nintendo, you don't, like, you should not even be involved in that conversation, because Nintendo is honestly the one who's doing a lot of egregious stuff. They're charging for online. You don't get anything out of that online experience. People want virtual console stuff. You're getting games tied to a service, and a lot of those games on the service don't even run great. So yeah, people just, another reason why, Mav, is because they have their consoles of choice. They have their PlayStations, their Xbox, and their PCs. If the Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, if they do 99% of what they want, they're good. And Nintendo fills that 1%. And since they fill such a small percentage, right, they don't apply the same expectations for Nintendo. Because what does a lot of people always say? I don't care about friend requests. I don't care about friend codes. I don't care that the online is garbage. I don't care about any of these things. I buy Nintendo systems to play Nintendo games. I buy it to play Mario and this and that, whatever. So they literally, Nintendo could sell them. This is a crazy thing. I don't think Nintendo will ever do this, but Nintendo could sell people cardboard with the Nintendo logo on it. And maybe it's like a kid's toy where you can put your Switch in it and you can like pretend you're in virtual reality. Maybe Nintendo could sell people cardboard for like $80 and people will buy it. I think that's the Nintendo power, that they can actually get away with that. Now, if Sony or Microsoft actually sold cardboard branded Xbox or PlayStation, people would be like, what the fuck? Cancel this company. But Nintendo gets a pass because the nostalgia and the branding is so strong. So it's a combination of nostalgia. It's a combination of Nintendo not being their primary console, so they don't have the same, they don't look at it the same way through the same scope. And then also now with the Switch, the portability is a big factor. Portability on the Switch is, I mean, let's be real. When I first got the Switch, the first 3 years of my time using the Switch, I was primarily Switch because, you know, I worked at multiple jobs and I was always taking my Switch with me. So I got a lot of gaming in via the Switch. And I know now with streaming, and that's a thing, that's great and everything, but streaming is not there to the point where I can actually have a full-on competent experience and not worry about my network connection. I do like the Switch because everything is local, and yeah, the resolution and FPS might not be as great, but if I can still play the game and it's competent enough, then that's all I need. So yeah, portability has played a big factor in why a lot of people bought the Switch. But yeah, it's really depressing because Nintendo could be the top dog. They really could, man, because they have the legacy, they have the IPs, they have the support from their fan base. If they had a competent online system like Xbox, they would, like, yeah, their numbers are great now, but it would be so much more. Like, so much more. But Nintendo doesn't need to do that because why would you put effort into something if you already know people are going to show up for it? You know? Why in the world should Nintendo spend money on an online infrastructure when people are going to buy into that online anyways because they want to play N64 ROMs like they haven't played it to death in the past 30 years? That's it, man. Low risk, high reward. That's what it means to be a Nintendo executive. Yeah, and they don't need to price drop. Why would they price drop the Switch? Why would they price drop any games? You guys are going to buy it anyway. You know what the funny thing is? I always hear people compare Nintendo to Apple. Oh, Nintendo's the Apple of gaming. I take offense to that as an iPhone owner because Apple at least gives you more features. Apple at least does things that's exciting and interesting. Apple does price drops. Like Nintendo, they literally, like, you could, like, bro, I'm just dropping everything in my setup right now. Hold on, guys. Nintendo, like, okay. So for the past couple of years, ever since like FaceTime and iMessage dropped, that's been the de facto way most people prefer to text. Like, yeah, you have WhatsApp, you have Messenger and all that stuff. And sure, they might be used in more users in a grand scheme, like a grand scale and scope. But there's just something different about having iMessage and just being able to FaceTime and then being able to have links shared on your phone and have it on your MacBook and all that stuff. Nintendo doesn't even give you that option of having the cool thing. Like every single company, even if they're like not someone's preferred, they at least have something cool going for them. Nintendo does not. We still using 16-digit friend codes in 2021. You know what the worst part is? I always had to have a photocopy of my Switch friend code on my phone at all times. Because if I ever had a friend who's like, hey, you want to play on the Switch? Yeah, here, let me send you my friend code. Here's a fucking picture. Meanwhile, if I wanted to, if like, let's just say Mav and I met at, I don't know, like Mav and I met at Whataburger, right? And you're like, yo, he's wearing a Halo shirt. And I'm like, yo, I love Halo. Halo's great. You play the Infinite Halo? Yeah, we got a game together. He'd be like, what's your gamer tag? Yo, my gamer tag is Phantom Death 00. Mav's like, bet, I'll add you later tonight. Meanwhile, if that was that same conversation, but we were hype about Smash Bros, I have to be like, okay, let me take down your phone number so I can text you this image of this 16-digit code I do not have memorized, and then we can maybe link up. Oh wait, no. I also I need to add you on like Discord or something like that because there's no voice chat. Also, I might have to text you the time I'm going to be on because there's no messaging system, so I know you're online, but I don't know you could do something else. Oh my god. It's insane. It's fucking insane, bro. Everything you gotta do to get like a quality experience on Nintendo. My god. Apple hasn't increased their iPhone prices in 3 to 4 years. I think when they start coming out with like the better, like when they move from 12 megapixels up, they'll probably increase the price, or maybe not, because they don't really need to. If they could keep it at that same price and then still have a lot of the cool stuff people want, because they finally have 120 hertz, which is great. But the next thing they need to do is just bump up the resolution on the camera, because the iPhone cameras are great, but it's like, bro, we're still on 12 megapixels. I'm not saying megapixels are everything, but come on, I want like a 48 megapixel sensor. Let's go, iPhone. Let's go. That shit gonna be bananas. Let's see. It's only a matter of time. Neo, I told my friend it's only a matter of time before Persona comes to Switch and Xbox. He thinks there's no chance it's coming to other platforms. I mean, I understand your friend's point of view because Atlas is taking their sweet ass time. It's not even on PC yet. But I think at some point they might end up on other platforms. I just don't know when. Like, it took Atlas 12 years to bring Persona 4 to PC. 12 years. It was stuck on the Vita for 8 years. This is not a company that works with the quickness. They don't have swift feet. They are not Speedy Gonzalez. That is not. Atlas is very much so the sloth from Zootopia. That's Atlas. What are your thoughts on the Forza Horizon 5 Game of the Year snub? Some have had okay, I think what you're trying to say is, what are your thoughts on Forza Horizon 5 being snubbed at the Game Awards? Some years they've had Mario Maker, PUBG, Hearthstone, and Overwatch nominated. Honestly, bro, I mean, I'm of two mindsets on this. On the one hand, I can totally see it being questionable that they didn't nominate the high. I believe Forza Horizon is the highest rated game of the year, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. On the one hand, I think it is kind of weird because you have this game that just came out. It's the most popular racing game probably of all time next to Mario Kart, and it's getting great reviews across the board. The community loves it as well, and it's not nominated. It's very strange. But at the same time, I am also a person who does not put too much stock in these award shows, these end of the year lists, because at the end of the day, these are all opinions. And if you are a conscious gamer, conscious consumer, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to play a game just because it got Game of the Year. You might be intrigued by it, sure, but if you are a conscious gamer, you're going to play stuff that looks interesting to you. And I'm gonna be real. Some of my most favorite games of all time have never been nominated for Game of the Year. They've never been included in like top 10 list discussions, but I really do enjoy them and I love them. And honestly, that's what it should be at the end of the day. But I can also see from the point of view of somebody who's like, okay, we need to have we need to have a discussion about why in the world these Game Award shows are being held at the end of the year when there are still games coming out that year. I believe the cutoff for the Game Awards is November 9. I don't know. I think it was just this past week, but basically it's like middle of November they cut off. Forza Horizon 5 wasn't even out on the market long enough for a lot of people to sink their teeth in. Like, there was that review period, but let's be honest, not a lot of people do participate in review periods. Some people play the game when it comes out and they enjoy it and they have fun. So there was literally like maybe a week or so where people got a chance to try out Forza, and then we have the Game Award nominations. Like, it's strange. So I think it's more along the lines of people didn't get a chance to play the game, and that's why it wasn't nominated, which goes back to what I was saying. They might have to restructure the Game Awards where instead of being held in December, it'll be held in like January or February, similar to most of the TV and movie awards, where you have all year to watch those movies, and the only thing that needs to do to qualify is be released within that year. And then, you know, the Academy deliberates for a few months, and they come together with the award show. So I think that that's the best approach to fixing things going forward. But yeah, I don't necessarily think that it's this grand conspiracy against racing games, because as you said, a lot of other games of different genres have gotten nominated. But I would not be surprised if a lot of those games did release before that cutoff window. The only one I know off the top of my head would be Mario Maker, because I know that came out towards the end of 2015. That might be the outlier. But I know like Overwatch came out like Q2 2016, and some of those other games probably around that range. But yeah, I understand why people are upset, but I think a lot of people are, for what we can do right now, a lot of people are just focusing this on the hill to die. Like, I hate that it wasn't nominated for Game of the Year. Well, are we gonna apply this logic to every single time you don't get something you want nominated? Like, Tales of Arise wasn't nominated. I feel bad because I think that's one of the best games of the year, the ending aside. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, all right, you know, screw this panel, blah blah blah, whatever, because maybe some of those people didn't get a chance to play it. Because the thing about movies and TV shows is that you can finish a movie and a TV show faster than you can finish some of these games. Most movies are around 2 hours long. So if you're on the Academy list, the critic list or whatever, you could... Who just messaged me? Oh, God. Freaking spam. It's that time of the year for fucking spam. Let me just fucking block this person. I don't even know how some of these spam things get your phone number. Oh my God. Anyways. So what was I saying before? Yeah, so I mean, it sucks, but I don't know. I come from a place of playing games like Japanese RPGs that they never get nominated. Like Neo, The World Ends With You. The original World Ends With You, I don't even think it was nominated for the year that it came out, the original one. So it is what it is, man. But that's not going to stop me from enjoying those games. That's not going to stop me from having fun with those games. I'm gonna just keep it moving, have fun, and talk about and appreciate the games and pimp it out. That's literally what I'm gonna do. Yeah, the thing about Nintendo, Zack Rodriguez, is it's like I said before. People have different rules and standards for Nintendo. That's just what it is. So you could tell them till you're blue in the face about how they need to do this and that, but for some people, they honestly don't care, because a lot of people know it. They just accept it. Much love from Poland. Oh, I appreciate that, Squall. Thank you so much, my man. Thank you. Shout out to Poland. Shout out to Cardboard. Oh, boy. How do you like the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas? Man, I love San Andreas. It's one of my favorite GTAs, but that remaster, I had to fucking delete it, bro. And I mean, it didn't have the worst performance for me. Like, it did get choppy at times, but honestly, what killed that game for me is the fact that it's so dark. Like, the blacks are crushed on this game, man. And I thought it was going crazy, so I went back and I watched clips of the original GTA San Andreas, and I'm like, whoa, was the world really this bright back in the day? You would not know by playing this remaster because it's so fucking dark, man. Oh my God, it's like the game was perpetually set at nighttime, even though it's daytime and the sun is out. So yeah, I'm gonna wait until they properly patch this, because it should not have gone down the way that it did. What are your opinions on the Kyle Rittenhouse trial? Honestly, I'm not really in the right state of mind to talk about that shit. All I'll say is that it's just another day in America. It's just another day in America, and people they'll pick and choose certain things, like, oh no, blah blah blah. But all I'm saying is just like, let a black person be in that same situation. And that's all I'll say about that, because that's how it always is. No matter how many times people want to say, no, stop making everything about race. I'm like, and then when you list all the examples, they got nothing to say. But it is what it is, man. The verdict is the verdict, and that's it. That's it, man. Like, I don't mind discussing politics when it's interesting, but there's just some shit where you just see something coming a mile away and you just become apathetic to it. And then I just don't want to talk about it. Like, I was at the barbershop yesterday. I was talking with my boys about everything, and we're just like, is anyone surprised? Nope. I'm always down to talk about politics. Whenever there's like a political election, it's always interesting to discuss things. The first like 90 days, it's always interesting to discuss things. But then when there's like some things that you're just like, yeah, it is what it is. Like, there's nothing else that I can add to this situation that I haven't already said the numerous times it's happened before. You know, so I feel like I'd just be regurgitating something that had already happened before, and it's also a situation where it's like, you know what it is. It's not like this is going to be surprising. Have you watched One Piece? Also, how long do you think it's acceptable for an anime to have? Like, Naruto got a lot of episodes. So yeah, I've watched One Piece. I'm not 100% caught up on the show. I'm a good like 300, 400 episodes behind. No, I'm like around a good 300 episodes behind. And that's just because just the nature of the length of the show. It's crazy. But I don't really, it's kind of a hard question. Like, how many episodes do you think something should be? Honestly, I feel like it comes down to whatever the story sees fit. So if the story is grandiose and it's epic and it calls for a good chunk of episodes, then yeah, go for it. But one thing I've learned about with a lot of shows is that a lot of shows can be shorter. You know, I feel like there are a lot more shows that could be shorter rather than shows that are shorter that could be longer, if you guys get what I'm saying. And One Piece is just, it's one of those rare exceptions where, of course, it's got some lows, but even the lows are better than a lot of anime out. So I've thoroughly enjoyed my time watching One Piece throughout the hundreds of episodes. It's the best shonen for a reason. Like, just what Oda is able to tell, the story he's able to tell over the course of 2+ decades. No one else can match that shit, man. No one else can match that, because you saw what happened with something like Masashi Kishimoto with Naruto. You can tell when Kishimoto was in his prime writing Naruto versus Shippuden, where it started to go downhill. You could tell if they took off like a good 3-4 years of Shippuden, like that would have been a great show. That would have been a great show. If Naruto ran from like, when did Naruto start? Like 99? If that shit ran from like 99 to maybe like 2010, that would have been like a nice solid 10 years of storytelling. That shit would have been nice. But the problem is that it kept going for 3-4 more years, more than it was supposed to. And you start getting into retcons and plot holes and all types of contrivances. And then filler also comes with that. One Piece, it doesn't have the same type of filler as Naruto. Like Naruto, most of its filler is like in chunks. Whereas One Piece, it has filler, don't get me wrong, but the filler I look at One Piece is more of like the pacing for the past couple of years. The pacing has gotten very stretched out because they don't have as much content to adapt. So instead of doing full-on filler arcs, they have periods of time where the pacing is just so much more, like you're watching this episode and you wonder, did anything really happen? You know? So it depends on the show and what it calls for. One Piece being the sole exception. But one general rule of thumb that I have with a lot of the shows that I've watched, because I did look back on some of my favorite shows like Breaking Bad, and I noticed that a lot of these shows, they stop before they overstay their welcome. So Breaking Bad, in my opinion, was like the perfect amount of episodes. So like for me, most shows range usually like around 5 seasons. 5 seasons I think is great because, you know, you have your first season to really get things going, lay the groundwork and the foundation. Second season is when you're supposed to like start getting people like, yo, this is fucking great. Third season should be like an all-time high. Fourth season should maintain the momentum. And then the fifth season, which is why I love Breaking Bad so much, because it had so much momentum and it keeps the momentum going and then it ends. Like that's it. That's the end of the show. So most shows like around like 5-6 seasons. Of course, it depends on how many episodes per season. Like obviously, like for a show that's 13 episodes a season, it's going to be very different than a show that's like 20 episodes. Also, a show that's like 25 minutes versus 50 minutes. That's another factor. So you know, it's hard to just put a definitive like, yes, this show should be X amount of episodes for X amount of minutes, because you really don't know. You really don't. Like the Netflix Marvel shows, a lot of people enjoy them, but I'm gonna be honest, they could shave off about 3 hours per season and those shows would still be really good. Like Daredevil, I don't think the first season needed to be 13 episodes. It did not need to be 13 hours. It could have been a solid 10 hours, maybe 9, and we would still get the same effect. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put Dragon Ball, Naruto, and One Piece? I mean, that's kind of hard to judge it because I look at things like very differently with those shows. Like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball. One thing I love about Dragon Ball is that, like, obviously it laid the template for things to come, but it knows exactly what it is. It's a simple story with simple characters, and you enjoy the journey. It doesn't try to be anything more than it is. And that's why I really love Dragon Ball and why it's persevered for so many years. Naruto starts out very simple, great lore, great world building, and then it just gets too wrapped up into what it wants to be. And that's where Naruto really falters. When you go back to the basics, that's where Naruto shines. But when you start getting into this whole crazy sci-fi shit, and that's where shit went left. And then of course, like all the back and forths with the narrative, like that was fucking irritating. Like, make up your mind. Like, did it happen like this or did it happen like this? And then like retroactively adding stuff in. Like, I hate when they do that shit. Like, yeah, it's all, oh boy. But I will say, if we're talking about blending everything together, One Piece is, in my opinion, the best out of the three for having great characters, a great story, easy to follow, great world building, and like all the beats that you would look for. Like, One Piece is awesome. But I understand it's not for everybody because One Piece is a really long show. And it's not that you can trim a lot of One Piece. You can, but it's just a journey. It's a long journey. It's a long story. And there's so much that goes down. Like, so much character development. So much amazing stuff. The progression in One Piece is great. We got 279 Canadian super chat from Leon. One Piece is my bae. Yeah, One Piece is dope, dude. I still have all my old voyages. Like, this is season 1, first voyage. I like the first 13 episodes of the new Funimation dub. Oh my god. You guys remember? You guys remember this time? Oh man. This just brings me back, bro. I'm Luffy, the man who's gonna become king of the pirates. Enter the great swordsman, pirate hunter Roronoa Zoro. Morgan versus Luffy. Who's the mysterious pretty girl? Damn, now I want to watch a One Piece. Holy shit. Let's see. $5 coming in from Justin Ayala. SMT5 is RPG of the year. I've been hearing a lot of good things about that, bro. And like I said, I cannot wait to start it. Once I finish the last hour or two of Tales of Arise, I'm going to boot up Metroid Dread. Finish that in like 8-10 hours, and then I'm gonna dive straight into SMT5. Dragon Ball Z Kai is better than the original because of pacing and filler being eliminated and closer to the manga. Yeah, that's why I watch Kai. Kai is my preferred way to watch Dragon Ball Z. But the thing is, One Piece doesn't really have that same kind of filler. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dragon Ball had like an insane amount of fucking filler. Insane. I'm talking about like new stuff they added and just like dragging shit out. Like, you have not lived until you've watched the Dragon Ball Z fight that takes like 20 episodes, and literally they've only done like 5 minutes worth of fighting. Like, that's how shit used to be back in the day, man. Neo, when you get Pokemon Gen 4 remakes, maybe try to play it a new way, like do shiny hunting for starter Pokemon. Takes time, but it's a different experience. I feel like that would take a lot of time, bro. And at that point, I feel like I'm just like inflating my playtime. You know what I'm saying? Because these days, I just want to get through the stories. And if a game is really good, I'll go through the other stuff in the world, like the side missions and everything. But I don't really impose challenges on myself unless like I'm going for like like if I'm playing Uncharted, I'll play it on normal difficulty and then I'll play it on crushing. But I don't really impose challenges like oh, if you're playing Uncharted, you can't reload just because you shot a bullet. You gotta wait till your clip is empty, then reload. Like, you know, those type of things. Because I'm the type of person where if I shoot like 2 rounds, I'm already reloading. Straight up. Like, I do not waste any time. If I have an opportunity to reload, I will take that opportunity. 279 from Leon. Getting Dragon Ball Evolution 4K Blu-ray Z edition. Oh my god. I didn't even know that's coming out in 4K. I hope you're trolling. I hope you're trolling, bro. I'm gonna do my due diligence and research this. Hold on. Oh god, if they actually release this on 4K, I swear to god. Please no. Let me see. I know you're probably trolling. No, I don't see any 4K, but the thing is still available. Oh god. Even if it was free, I would not take a copy of Dragon Ball Evolution. Hell no, bro. Why are combos so hard in Dragon Ball FighterZ? It's called getting good, my friend, learning the game. But I mean, like I said, I don't play fighting games like that. I'm a very casual noob guy. But I thought that Dragon Ball FighterZ is actually one of the more accessible fighters, in my opinion. I might just be completely wrong. Maybe it's the Dragon Ball aesthetic that makes me want to play the game more, so I learned the game. But I felt like it was a lot easier to like hit the lab in that game than if I was playing something else. That might just be me, though. Nah, but here's the thing, Avanti. Like, Kai, they rush like some of like the beginning parts about it, but at the same time, would you really want to sit through 300 episodes just to get tender moments of the show? I'd much rather a show that gets to the point and I enjoy it rather than sit through 300 episodes for that 1 or 2 instances that might be better. You know what I'm saying? Because 300 episodes of filler is a fucking lot, bro. I would not, bro. 300 episodes? Avanti, you need to go back and sit through Dragon Ball to see how long it actually took to get to certain moments. Because there's no reason why we should be doing this shit and it takes like 40 episodes and really it could be 5 episodes. Like, I can't do that shit, bro. All hell Geeko. Oh, God. Geeko. I actually, you know, I'm pretty indifferent. I actually liked Gohan's Kai transformation. I like the music that they used in the original one, not when when the composer got caught for fraud. I like the original score they had for Gohan's transformation. But the Super Saiyan 3 transformation, of course, OG Dragon Ball Z, that is where it is. That's where it's at. That original Super Saiyan 3 transformation. Fuck yeah. I only really played Soul Calibur consistently for fighting games. I just love the aesthetic of Soul Calibur. Yeah, Soul Calibur is great, man. Like, I don't really play too many fighters, but when I did, like, as a kid, I dabbled. Like, I played Mortal Kombat. Obviously, Soul Calibur 2, because of Link. I mean, I don't really count Smash Bros. Like that. Street Fighter 3rd Strike. And I played Alpha 3 as well, because I had that on the PSP. But yeah, I don't really dabble too much in fighters. You know what it was? Because I didn't really have a lot of people around me to play them. Like, even in the local scene around me, not a lot of people played fighting games like that. You really had to do your fucking research. Whereas now, you can play online, or you can just join communities, and they're like, hey, we're doing this event. It's so much easier now. But back then, it was like, if you weren't playing in the arcades, you know, if you're trying to play that shit at home, and you didn't have people you knew that played, it was kind of hard. I couldn't stand Dragon Ball Super. Like, I liked a lot of the stuff that happened in Super towards the end, but just the time commitment, you know? I've heard really good things about that new King of Fighters beta. Really good things. My boy texted me, he's like, it scratches the itch. And out of context, that is just such a funny text message to send somebody. Have you tried Forza? Yes. Yes. I try to get in a couple of rounds on Forza Horizon 5 every other day or so, depending on my schedule. But yes, I have played Forza Horizon 5, and it is awesome. Remember the weekday Toonami days when DBZ was on and that many episodes it took to be one villain? Dude, could you imagine watching Dragon Ball? I don't know how people in Japan did it. Could you imagine watching Dragon Ball week to week? Oh my God. I want to pull my home. Man, I wouldn't want to pull my hair out. I would not stop there. I want to pull my brain out if I had to sit through Dragon Ball Z on a weekly basis. Just the filler in that shit, bro. Oh my God. I can't do that. Yeah, I liked the Goku Black arc up until the end. Yep. What do you think about Bleach? I like the idea of Bleach. I think it's a very visually striking show. It's got great music, cool fight scenes. That's it. Story, characterization, but it's got an amazing aesthetic. Like, Kubo is a great character designer. Like, if I was crafting something, I'd want Kubo to design the characters because they look awesome. But with Bleach is like one of those shows where it has its staying power for like 60 episodes, and then that's it. That's when most people kind of just fizzled out of Bleach. And the only reason they watched it is either they were godfathered into it and they just want to see it to the end, or they know it's not that great, but they're just like, fuck it, I want some cool fight scenes. Let's see how Ichigo gets himself out of this one. He's like he's human, he's half hollow, he's half this, he's half Chozo. He's half he might have the Sharingan for all we know. But the power scaling in that show was fucking out of control. This man got reset at the end of every fucking arc. I'm like, there's no way anyone should be giving Ichigo the work with how many things he's got in his blood. No way. No way. This man said Bleach made me want to drink bleach. There's the joke. There's the joke. Can y'all name another filler episode besides the driving one? Exactly, Marcus. That's what I'm saying. Like, people say, I like filler because some of that filler was good. All right, name me an episode after the driving one. They're like, well, Garlic Jr. Nope. Nope. We already have a better introduction of Garlic Jr. It's called the Dead Zone movie. That shit was great. So do you enjoy Dragon Ball more than One Piece? What do you think's better? I mean, it's not necessarily about what I think one is better over the other. Like, I enjoy aspects of One Piece more than Dragon Ball and vice versa. But that doesn't mean like I need to have like a competition between the two, you know? The only time I'll ever do that is if we're talking about Yu Yu Hakusho, because Yu Yu Hakusho is objectively the GOAT. That's it. Yup, the plot armor in Bleach is fucking insane, man. Yeah, Togashi is good. Grimdark says he's very cynical of most shonen. I mean, bro, I'm in that same camp. Every now and then, I like things that mix it up. But if it just devolves back into the regular shonen shit, that's where I'm like, ugh. Like, to me, if I have I want more shonen protagonists like Yusuke Urameshi. Like, Yusuke is one of the best shonen protagonists of all time. I love this dude. And I just hate that we don't get a lot of dudes like this. Yusuke, it's like, should I save the world? Or should I sit front row at this wrestling match? Like, these are the decisions that Yusuke Urameshi has to make. And I love that. There's none of this, like, I'm sorry, if I see a shonen anime and they mention friendship, I'm fucking out of here. I can't do this. Power of friendship, it's been done to death. It's over. If you're gonna do friendship, do it like Yu Yu Hakusho did, where they made it sentimental and they tugged on the heartstrings. They don't mention that Yusuke gets his powers from his friend every damn episode. They don't do that. So, like, if it mentions power of friendship, I'm fucking out of here. Like, that's it, bro. If they've got, like, a lot of ecchi shit that they try to pass off as funny, I'm out of here, bro. I'm done. I can't with that shit. I'm a grown ass man. I'd like to fuck grown ass women. I don't get a stiffy from cartoons. So stop that shit. Stop it. Like, take these characters seriously. I'll be real. You can crack a joke every now and then, but come on, man. I don't need to see bouncing boobs in anime or all that shit, bro. I don't need to see upskirts. Like, bro, they're fucking cartoons. What else? What else do I like? I guess those are like just like red flags for me. Power friendship, ecchi shit. I'm trying to think because I don't really watch too many shonen these days, man. Yusuke was the GOAT, man. I fucking love that dude. What shonen protagonist are you gonna see just fucking smoking a cigarette and they'll be like, hey, stop smoking, Yusuke? I'm like, oh man. Yusuke is great, bro. I remember the first time when I saw Yu Hakusho and they were like, Yusuke, would you like some brandy? He's like, oh, brandy? You got the good stuff? They're like, no, Yusuke, I'm not giving a 16-year-old brandy. And he's like I fucking love that shit, man. Yeah, to me, honestly, the anime I've been watching these days, I mean, in general, I love slice of life. I love rom-coms. Because those shows, they don't have the opportunity to lean on really pretty battle animation. They don't have the opportunity to lean on this crazy world building stuff. So if you have a really successful rom-com or slice of life, it's about the characters and the experiences they go through. So if it's like a really successful slice of life comedy, it's probably because it's very funny. Or if it's like a really good romantic anime, it's probably because the characters are written very well. I like those things. Like sometimes you just have to like isolate things and focus on the stuff that really matters and what is going to persevere rather than all the superficial stuff. You've got to get to the core. You've got to get to the heart of these stories rather than worrying about how we can make a franchise and world build this bitch. Rather than worrying about, oh, what about the grand scale and scope? At its core, it has to be about the characters and how they're written. And that's what I like, man. That's what I really like. Neo, you would love Fairy Tail. If you don't, I watched 50 episodes of Fairy Tail and I was like, I'm done, bro. This is it for me. It started out really good. And I was like, oh, it just peaked here. That's it. All right. We out. Legend of Galactic Heroes is the real GOAT. Yeah, my sister and I were just talking about that because I subscribe to High Dive. So they have not the old one, they have the new one on there. The older one is like still in licensing hell. Would you be down for an Avatar The Last Airbender spinoff so long as it's well done? About the White Lotus, about Uncle Iroh, Boomy. Honestly, I would love a lot of world building stuff for Avatar. It's got to be handled very well. Because I'm very particular about The Last Airbender, because The Last Airbender, in my opinion, is the best cartoon to come out of Western animation, period, of all time. All time Western animation. And the reason why it worked, the reason why I love that is that, number one, it didn't overstay its welcome. It focused on exactly what it needed to do, which was the characters. And by the end of the show, you're left wondering more about this world. You want to see what else is happening here. Like all these other characters they introduced, who were they before this, right? But the thing is, you need really competent storytellers to tell those stories. And unfortunately, a lot of the people they got now, it's just not that great. It's not that great. I mean, the Avatar comics are cool. Like the one talking about Zuko's mom, that was cool. Yeah, I haven't really watched too many like the Kamen Rider, Super Sentai type shows in a long time. Every now and then I do like put on a random episode just to have fun. But I haven't. It's been a minute, man. I know them shits is huge, bro. People love that shit. People love Kamen Rider. Yes, I love, dude, Kurama. One of my favorite moments in all of Yu Hakusho was during Chapter Black. And one of the things I love about Kurama's character, well, obviously he's a mama's boy, so that's you don't really see that too often in anime, so that's great. But at the same time, Kurama is a stone cold killer. And he's got his code, of course. And if you violate anything within that code, this man just turns into it. Like, he's a demon, obviously, but he, like, what we view as a demon. And I'll never forget this because there was the trial where he was going up against the kid and they were playing that game. And Kurama picked up really quickly that this kid doesn't know that if he loses the game, he's going to die. He still thinks that he's just playing this game and he has a bunch of friends to play with him. Like, he had put so much trust in Shinobu Sensui, like this older figure that, you know, yeah, he'll take care of us. It's nothing crazy, whatever. And then Kurama picked up that the people who lose this game die. And when he picked up on that and he just brought everything together, it's like this man hated Sensui so much for that because he involved a kid in this. And in order for them to progress, Kurama would have to win the game. And if Kurama wins the game, this kid dies. And that's what happened. The show wasn't afraid to go there. That yes, this kid is going to lose his life. And Kurama, seeing that and dealing with it, like afterwards, they're like, yo, Kurama, you're good? He's like, I'm fine. And they just continue on, right? And in most shows, they'll have a character act like that, like, yeah, I'm fine. Look, we'll just move on. You know, it just keeps moving, whatever. But then they keep that into the next episode where they go up and they fight the next person. And this one is a reoccurring character who was from the previous arc. He did a lot of heinous shit and yada, yada, yada. And Kurama was just so ruthless. Oh my God. Like, I rewatched the Yu Hakusho a few months ago and just seeing Kurama in that light. Holy crap, dude. And that's what I loved. I loved where they took Kurama's character in that arc. Because Kurama got a lot of development in the show. From the beginning of the show, Dark Tournament, Chapter Black especially, and then of course in the final arc, which just gave everybody backstory who didn't have backstory. But what they did in that Chapter Black scene with Kurama, holy shit, it was so good, man. 279 super chat from Leon. Yu-Gi-Oh sucks. Hey man, listen. Yu-Gi-Oh after 5D sucks. Yu-Gi-Oh in general is pretty cool. I will admit though, I did stop playing Yu-Gi-Oh when when they started getting into like synchro summoning, pendulum summoning, fucking twerk back momentum summoning, all that crazy shit. Like I started playing the 5D cards and I was like, what? And I stopped and then it kept getting fucking crazy, man. Even in not Duel Links, Legacy of the Duelist, right? It has like all the different generations and shit in there. I stop at GX, man. I stop at fucking GX because once I got into other stuff, I'm like, I don't know, man. I have to relearn this game. But I did enjoy the 5D's anime a lot. Like that was a dark ass Yu-Gi-Oh show, man. Even 4Kids was like, we can edit this, but there's still gonna be some shit that man. Oh, dude, I remember that bicycle anime, dude. Vaguely remember that. I don't remember anything about it, but I remember it existing. Why is Funimation releasing DBZ on Blu-ray again? Because DBZ is one of their biggest cash cows, bro. Funimation, there was like one point where DBZ made up like what 50+% of all of their sales, something crazy like that, and it makes sense, man. I mean, if we're talking about Western anime that aren't like, you know, kids stuff like Pokemon, Dragon Ball is the one that it doesn't matter how many decades go on, Dragon Ball will always have an audience. There will always be people buying games. There will always be people buying the manga and the anime. So yeah, it's just one of those things where it's been a few years, time to put it out again. Yeah, Dragon Ball, dude, when Dragon Ball was in its heyday, it was beating out primetime network television. And it wasn't even airing at primetime slots. Like, all that stuff is like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Dragon Ball was airing at like 4 o'clock, 5 p.m., shit like that. It was insane, dude. Wasn't Game Master's ability, they could keep playing no matter what, but the game will die. So yeah, like if he basically, like if they were able to kill the goblin, because he was the Goblin King, if they were able to successfully beat the goblin, then he would die. So yeah, it was one of those things where they can lose and be stuck there forever, or they could win the game and proceed, but the kid does die. That's why it made it so like... Have you watched Death Parade? I started it, but I don't remember if I finished it, though. I don't think I did. So I'll probably have to add that back to the list. I was just rewatching... I don't know why I did this, guys. I'm insane. But I was just rewatching Angel Beats last week. Oh, man. First off, I forgot how funny that show was. And then I also forgot how funny it stops being. Like, how it just stops being funny and it becomes a completely different show. And I'm just like... Why would you do this to me? Like, that show got serious, bro. Remember when Bandit Keith pulled out the Glock? Yeah, like, bro, fuck card games. This is what it's all about, man. He was ready to clap this dude Pegasus over some card games, bro. Remember, he jumped from the platform to that balcony. I was like, how? He was like, Pegasus! Did you ever watch Rose of Versailles Neo after recommending it to you years ago? I started it, bro. I have it on my queue. I started it, but I don't think I got past like the first couple episodes, man. I know. I'm terrible, man. I'm terrible. But I'm working my way through my queues, man. Like I said, I love watching short shows. So like anywhere from like 12 to like 50 episodes max. I love watching those shows, man. I love it. I love it. Like Erased, I went back and I rewatched that a few months ago. Oh, man, such a good show. I have not watched that Arcane League of Legends show yet. I've heard really good things about it, so I might start it. I heard the animation's beautiful. The characters are great. I've seen, what's it called? What was that one anime I started recently? Shit, I forgot. I'll literally remember it when I cut the stream off. I'll be like, it's that show! $5 super chat coming in from the homie Marcus Doyle Terrell. I used to laugh at it, but Bandit Keith and Kaiba act a lot like people in this gaming community. Tell me I'm wrong. You are not wrong, man. Because the crazy thing about this gaming community is that these dudes take that shit to heart. And when they take it to heart, they mean literally strapped. Straight up, bro. That's the weirdest thing. That's the weirdest fucking thing. We joke about how Kaiba would literally commit suicide if Yugi won the duel. And then you got people in these Twitter spaces talk about like, let me see your gamer tag. And they're acting like you're asking for their social security and they're threatening to pull up with guns and fight people and shit. I'm like, bro, what? How y'all doing this over video games? Over video games! Over video games! People are threatening to beat people up. Man, we used to do that shit if there was some like, if we were playing like Mario Party, niggas got mad at each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got mad and we play fought. But these dudes, just because you asking for achievements to see if you play games, people are like, no, how dare you? Dude's weird, bro. That's just so weird. That shit's weird. Oh, man. But, you guys, I believe it is about time for us to wrap up tonight's stream. I don't even know how this shit's been going on for almost 3 hours, but you know, that's what happens when you're in the company of incredible individuals like yourselves. So I want everybody to take a bow. Take a bow and give yourselves a pat on the back because y'all made it to another Ask Neo stream, and this was another good one, as per usual. So a couple of things I do want to mention beforehand. So first things first, the scheduling as far as Ask Neo goes, I think this might be the last time we're able to stream this on a Saturday night. I know it sucks because we've been doing this for the longest time. But Ask Neo will return some weeknights. I haven't ironed out the details just yet, but you guys will know at the very least by Friday of next week. I'll have a good idea and understanding because I get my schedule on Monday and then I have to see if it's like rotating or if it's actually going to stay like that consistently. So I could just block out one day of the week and I'll be like, this is the Ask Neo day. In addition to that, the NeoGameSpark anniversary live stream, which I know I mentioned this before in the past of when we're actually going to do that. I have finally set a date for that live stream where we just go back and we rewatch a lot of old Neo videos. That will be going down on hold on. Where did I have it in my calendar? Hold up. Hold on one sec. Okay. So that stream will be going down this Tuesday, November 23rd. So if you guys are able to pull up for that anniversary stream, we're just going to be chilling. I'm going to be talking about how I got into YouTube, why I keep doing YouTube, and we're going to be reacting to a lot of the old videos from the vault, things that some of y'all probably haven't seen before. In addition to that, like I said, down below in the video description, all my social media outlets. Give your boy a follow on Twitter. In addition, consider joining our Discord community in addition to the Patreon page. Thank you so much to everyone tonight for all the Super Chat donations. Thank you so much to all the new members who joined, existing members, existing patrons, all of y'all. The support is greatly appreciated. And before we go, you guys know this for the Ask Neo streams, we've got to have ourselves a hydration check. Now, what is a hydration check? Well, for those who are tuning in for the first time, a hydration check is essentially a way that we can all keep ourselves accountable about staying hydrated. Because, you know, you got to stay hydrated. Because when you stay hydrated, you feel better. And when you feel better, you look better. And water is amazing. So grab your favorite H2O beverage of choice, because I know we got a shit ton of alcoholics in this chat. So grab your favorite agua beverage. No vodka, no tequila. I know how some of y'all get down. No toilet water flame, because I know you can't drink tap water, so no toilet water. That's not the next best thing. Just get yourself some bottled water, mineral water. Be bougie, get Pellegrino if you want, man. $2 from Flame. Rest in peace, Saturday Squad. Yeah, man. End of an era, but we'll see. We'll see, man. Maybe every now and then I'll have like a Saturday where we can ask Neo. We'll have to see. Can rum do as a substitute? What the fuck, we got Jack Sparrow in this chat? Jesus Christ. Yeah, but grab your favorite H2O beverage, and on the count of 3, we're gonna hydrate. 1, 2, 3. Hydration. And I'm glad that I actually took the seltzer out of the fridge a few hours beforehand, so it's not freaking scathing hot is the term, but it literally, when you're drinking cold as fuck carbonated water, it feels like your throat is burning. But yes, we have done our hydration check for the night. Guys, thank you so much for coming through to Ask Neo. You guys have a great morning, evening, afternoon. Get a lot of gaming in, get a lot of movie watching in, a lot of reading done. Have a lot of sex, you guys. Definitely have a lot of sex, not with your right hand, Flame. What have I told you about that? Not the left hand either. And don't do a Joe Rogan and fellatio yourself. Anyways, from me to you for now, my name is NGS signing out. And like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.